Okay. There she is. Mary Cross. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank
hey.
you. Oh,
There's,
please. No, stop. No, right?
they love you. They won't stop. They won't stop. Can't stop.
No, thank you.
And just like that, they're gone.
Hey, listen, Mike. Some
Yeah.
of my friends are saying they can't get in. What is the actual link?
Oh,
Because
okay.
they can't get in.
Oh, okay. So if they have to sign up for an actual account if they want to participate in the chat. But that link I
Okay.
sent you, the twitch.tv/we speak English good, that I
Yeah.
can send that right now if you want me to.
Okay. Yeah. You gonna
Um,
text it to me or you're emailing it?
I'm just gonna email it to you. I don't
Okay.
I don't think I have your.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
all right, I'm emailing it now.
Okay.
I hope.
They had the flyer, but I think because it was cut off at the end, they weren't sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And after we speak English good, it's what?
It's twitch.tv/we speak English good. And that's
And
the
that's it.
that's it. And
No.
then they click on it. But
Okay.
if they want to participate in the chat, they're gonna have to sign up
You
for a
have to
thing.
sign up.
But if they want to just watch, they can just watch us do this.
Okay,
Just
great. Thank you.
chat, and do it big.
Sounds like a plan.
I think so. I think so. Oh my gosh, we were fiddling around with technology, and at the beginning of this, and it made me wonder. Like everybody's sort of on a spectrum when it comes to tech, and
Hmm.
with the dawn of the pandemic and sort of this forced this forced isolation where
Yes.
technology has become very vital to communication.
Hmm.
How where were you on that spectrum of technology at the beginning of this, and have you had to sort of have a crash course, or have you sort
Oh
of
my gosh. Yes, I did have to have a crash course, but before we even get into that, I was really messed up because we had so many different gigs planned. They were fabulous gigs. One was going to be at the aquarium with 200 dignitaries for the city of Camden mayor's office. It was just amazing, just great stuff lined up. And then this thing hit. And so I thought it'll be over in a couple of weeks, couple months,
well, that's what they kept saying, right? They kept saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, everybody.
Exactly. Wear a mask. Come on, you guys can do this. It's not going to get worse. And then as time progressed, I was like, wait a minute, this is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was deep. And then in regard to technology, I'm still learning how to really maneuver Instagram with the help of friends and millennials because they are like the bomb when it comes to understanding technology.
Right.
So with the Twitter and the Instagram, Twitter's not as bad, but my publicist kind of helps me with that. But the Instagram, I really had no clue how to use that. I still am trying to figure out about adding or inserting videos because I might put a couple of words and type something or put something up, but overall I'm not good with that. But I'm
Right.
working on it.
And that's all that matters. That's all
Yeah,
that matters
exactly.
because I mean, there's some people out there who are just sitting there like, I don't know. I'm just gonna sit here and I'll just continue to watch my cable because
Right, exactly. And
that
Netflix, right? Netflix
like
and chill.
yeah.
That's getting old. I'm gonna tell you that right there. I am not trying to sit that Netflix and chill, man. I want to do something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is crazy. It's been
Right.
over a year. Well, you might as well say almost a year.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming up on a year, and
Yeah.
we're still being told to Netflix and chill. What
Uh,
I know you're saying that you had a lot planned with your band and the gigs
yes.
coming up. What
Mhm.
how did the pandemic affect you personally when it first started? I mean, I know me personally, I was like
Mhm.
shopping and buying toilet paper and doing all the dumb things that people were saying. Like, bro, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
not. You're okay.
I think we, I think we all got caught up in that
I
buy
think
the
so
toilet
too.
paper stuff. Yes, we all did that. I did it too. But you know what? I always had a habit of buying extra toilet paper anyway, because I always had this thing about you don't never want to be left. You ain't got no toilet paper in the house. But that's one thing you don't want to be without.
I
I
feel
can't.
it.
So I was like, I always had a lot, but then I was buying more in bulk from Sam's Club because it
Yeah.
just seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean.
However, I see now that was ridiculous, as was a whole lot of other things that they said. And the things you
Yes.
wanted the most was bleach, antibacterial
Hmm.
hand soap, and those are the things you couldn't find.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I was able to have some things that were on stash, but overall it did change a lot. I mean, in regard to how we did everything. I mean, initially we did go out and buy a lot of food, put it in the freezer, thinking, "Oh my God, this is Armageddon." Like crazy. But
Yeah.
now, no, they have calmed down. We realize the world's not coming to an end with this, but you do have to be cautious and safe. So
Yeah.
I would say in regard to that, that was a major change. And also for me, because of my performing, I love to give people hugs and fist bumps and have them sing along with the microphone. And,
Oh,
it's so much engagement. And
yeah.
having lost that, because I remember hearing a quote a long time ago about how many people in life really don't get hugs on a regular basis. Like they don't have any kind of interaction with other humans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you see somebody, you give them a hug. I mean, that could be the only hug they got in like a year or 6 months
Right.
or something. So
Right.
it really does matter. And right now, I know that there's a lot of things going on with mental illness and depression that people are dealing with. So I'm very aware of what's going on around us, and a lot of people have been affected by it. And then, of course, the losses of life. So
Yeah.
this has been devastating for sure.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on mental illness? I mean, how important is mental illness to you, or not mental illness? I'm sorry, mental health, I should say.
Oh yeah. Mental health is very important to me. And actually, with Phyllis Hyman being one of the people icons that I absolutely adore, and the first actual female vocalist that I fell in love with, her story is so tragic. I'm not sure if you're aware of this,
I'm
but she
not.
killed herself.
Oh,
She
mom.
committed suicide in New York City right before she had a show with the Whispers. She killed herself. She took an overdose. So, and she left a note and said, "Those who love me, who I love, know who they are," and that was pretty much it. But her whole struggle in life was her weight, and also trying to have a relationship with someone. She never could, consistently be with someone that she wanted to be with, that she loved. And she sang a lot about loss and sadness and that kind of thing. She was
Mm.
married earlier on in her career once, but you can see from that kind of a story. And also remember Billie Holiday and so many others. Dorothy Dandridge. It was like a tough time as the years have progressed for a lot of artists who just didn't know where to go, who to turn to, or who they could trust, or people didn't validate mental health. So I know that with her situation, it's a struggle that a lot of people have, even now, not just in the entertainment industry, but everywhere. A lot of people are dealing with that kind of an issue. So I think that's one of the reasons all the more that I care about people so much, and always thought it was important to hug people and see them and,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. If you're the person over in the corner by yourself, I'm going to go over and say, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" Because
Yeah.
I think you just want to connect with people and let them know that you actually see them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can
Yeah.
really appreciate that, because there are a lot of people who just sort of who it's strange when you're in a relationship, and it's a loving relationship, and you have
Yeah.
family, and it
Mhm.
might seem weird to some. I mean, to me personally, who I'm in a loving relationship and I have a loving
Mhm.
family, it
Love that.
seems very odd that there's people out there who just aren't being touched at all.
Exactly.
And it's sad. It's a very
It
sad
is.
notion. So the
So
fact that you're
sad.
out there, taking the initiative to like be that, and to be that beacon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And now that we're now that we're in a pandemic, it's like now
Oh
those people are
God.
never gonna get touched. And I'm not, I don't mean
You
to
know what
laugh
I'm
at it,
saying?
but it's awful.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
it,
It's a big switch for sure.
it is.
And even going back to entertaining, like most of the gigs that I have done recently have been virtual, but there have been a few that they've had sparse
Mhm.
crowds in the room. And you really, it's weird. It's just so weird because
It's,
you're there, they're there. They got to have a mask on. Your only time your mask is off is when you're singing.
uh,
Band members have masks on the whole time. So it's the oddest thing ever for
yeah.
sure. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So have
But
you?
it's our way of life.
How so you played a few gigs
Yeah.
in real life, in the real
Hmm.
world. Uh,
Yeah.
has it? How was New Jersey? You're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
How is New Jersey with the
Oh
lockdown
man,
and?
our numbers fluctuate a lot, and I know the
Mhm.
numbers are tending to uptick even more right about now. For ever since Christmas, it's gotten worse. It was
Oh,
starting to go up after Thanksgiving, but you didn't start noticing it until around Christmas, and now
goodness.
beyond that, it's still going up. So New Jersey, they have to be very careful. I'm saying I don't know. I mean, it's a struggle because you will see now more than ever people are wearing their masks, thank God. But some would take it off or halfway have it on or pull it down past the nose, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, what are you doing? You got to put the mask on, man. It's for your protection and mine. Holy
Right.
cow. but
Right.
this is the life we live. So I think now people are starting to take it a little more seriously
Uh-huh.
than they did before.
What kind of gigs were you playing over last year over the pandemic?
Oh my God. It was like most of them had to do with little small venues that might ask us to come in and perform. Some of them I played a wedding, a couple of those outside actually, and they
Mm.
were fabulous. Oh my God. But when you people, and it was so amazing because everybody used their ingenuity to come up with an idea of how they would do this thing if they didn't want to cancel their wedding.
Right.
And they set up these elaborate backyard things, save so much money because you ain't got to pay that venue any money. You're doing
That's
it in
right.
your own
Right,
backyard. It
right.
was amazing how many people actually did that. And I thought, this is fabulous. So imagine we're outside. It's a huge place. The band's behind me. The crowd is way on the other side. They're all sitting at tables that are spaced out. It's out. You're breathing nothing but fresh oxygen.
Right.
So you felt really good and safe in that kind of an environment. And of course, when it came time like for me to spend a minute with the bride and groom, I went up to them, but you can't really get close like you want to because I
Right.
didn't have a mask on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And of course, those two as the couples, they didn't have masks on because they're with each other.
Right,
So
right.
it was odd, but you still wanted to engage. But it was so great. It seemed like the audience, they loved it because I think they were like, oh my God, we're starved for live entertainment. This is
Hey.
so good. So
Yeah.
we had a ball. Every single one of the weddings, we had a ball. It was great. So yeah,
That's
most of them, they really went to the thing with outside, stressing that we should be outside during the summer
right.
months. So that was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So, were people wearing masks at the wedding, or did it sort
Yes,
of?
they were.
Mhm.
Everybody was obligated to wear a mask.
Okay.
They could not walk around without a mask on, and everybody abided by the rules, thank God. So it was good, and everybody had a good time. But I
Yeah.
think they just really enjoyed the idea of being around other human beings, because
Right, right.
we've all been apart for so long. And by
Absolutely.
late summer, it was like, oh my God. And actually, one of the weddings was in September, early September. And I'm telling you, people just enjoyed themselves. It was magical,
Yeah.
seriously, to see everybody out, even though it looked odd with a mask, but having a good time. And they,
Right.
they needed that. I really would believe me that they actually needed that. It was therapeutic for sure.
You know what? I think you're right. I live in the Midwest, and
Uh-huh.
all summer, all I saw all summer, like the hippies were throwing festivals, and nobody had mask on in those pictures. Like
Oh
me and my wife played a wedding up in Michigan. Ain't nobody
God.
wearing masks up in Michigan. It
That's
was
crazy.
we played another gig in Michigan. We only played like 2 or 3 gigs, and they were all outside, and nobody was like, they didn't
What?
care. No one cared. I'm in the Midwest. They don't care. Like, I went to the gym the other day. I started going
Uh-huh.
back to the gym,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Okay, you got to have your mask on to get to the workout area, to the
Right.
fitness center. But as soon as you get to
Uh-huh.
the fitness center, you can take your mask off. So as
What?
soon as you get to the place where you breathe and huff and puff and cough and
Yes.
do all the
Oh God.
all the growls and all the phlegm and the spit that flies with all that,
I got
don't
nothing.
worry about masks. Don't worry about forget it. Forget the mask. It's cool. But when you're walking through the hallway and going through the shower rooms and stuff, make sure that mask is on, or else you're out.
I can't figure that out. What the heck is going on?
I'm in Ohio, man. That's what's going on. I'm in Ohio. We give
That's crazy.
zero, zero. We give -12 fucks here, and
Oh
it's
my
just
God. That is
it's
sick. That is so sick. And I tell you, we're paranoid.
yeah.
So it's
Oh yeah.
like for me and my family, nobody wants to deal with
Yeah.
that COVID stuff. I mean,
Right.
let's just be real.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, listen, whatever it takes, I'm putting 1, 2, 3 masks on if necessary. I tried, Mike. I tried to go to the
Mhm.
gym. I made it one night. I went there and I had the mask on and I couldn't really breathe, right? I was like,
Right.
oh my God, this is
Yeah.
hard. And I
Something
was
like
only
that.
on the treadmill. I wasn't even using
Yeah.
equipment.
Right.
So the woman comes over to me and she goes, because I kept pulling the mask away from my nose a little so I could breathe,
Yeah.
not take it down, but just pull it away. She said, no, you have to leave the mask really close to you have to keep. I was like, what? I said, but I can't even breathe. I'm just pulling it away. She was like, no, we have to ask you to keep it up, like really snug to your nose. New
Oh.
Jersey's crazy. They're out of control. So I was like, well, that's the last time I'm going to the gym. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
but that was what I was worried about too, because I went to DC over the
Yeah.
summer last year, and they had a gym in the hotel, and they were like, you gotta wear the mask over everything, and I'm trying to do the elliptical, and I'm like breathing, I'm like
Right.
suffocated, right? Like you feel like you're dying, like I
Right.
can't get enough oxygen.
And live and you're dying. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was just like pulling it down too. Like I can't. I gotta breathe. I gotta breathe. So I was actually like, oh, that's cool. You take your mask off up there. So I mean, it's weird, but I don't know. I mean, do you think that the shutdown in the way it is and the way it's been going is something, because there's a lot of pushback, there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
think that we should just open up and just let people
Right.
go, protect the vulnerable, and anybody who wants to throw their hat in the ring, go. It's time. It's go
Yeah.
time. We're opening. We're going. Keep hide grandma, hide grandpa,
Yeah.
and everybody else, floodgates are open. Do you think that the way we are going is the right way, or do you think we should be opening up? And I mean, and when you look at like the devastation it does to like the
Mhm.
economy, and
Mhm.
the job loss and permanent
Yeah.
job loss and all these small businesses shutting down, with all considering all that, do you think that we should just keep charging forward the way we are, or do you think we
No.
should start
Well, I
opening up?
personally, I've lost a number of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that the pandemic did indeed hit a lot of COVID-19 did indeed hit a lot of the Black community, and it
Yes.
did.
Yes.
So I have 3 classmates from my high school that actually passed away all within 3 weeks of each other. And I just found that out like a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And then like I have friends and I have relatives. And just found out the other day from a girlfriend, her mother, who's 80 something and was in tip top health, caught COVID by just going out to have one of her therapy sessions done. So she caught it from probably a therapist or someone else, because it's the only place she'd been. And now she's about to pass away, because they said they have her on something like a hospice in the hospital where her family can't go and see her, but they have the iPad up. Like, that situation is devastating.
Oh my God.
So this is like happening all over. I know people personally. This is beyond just saying somebody you heard about. This has affected our community in a major way. And so for me, it's awful when people don't take it seriously. The herd immunity thing, come on, because there are younger people that are passing away from this too, not just older people. Secondly, every human life matters. How do you do a herd immunity and say, let the chips fall where they may? If you die, oh, well, you just had to be the one that died. You're part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. So for me, I would say that we cannot let up. We need to stay the course and keep doing what we're doing. I remember that Biden said when he gets in, he and Harris, that they were going to implement a plan for us to wear masks for 100 days at minimum. And I work at the School of Medicine, so we actually are a vaccination point now. So
wow.
people, it's crazy. It's bananas to work there, because it's gotten crazy. At first, people weren't even coming in. But one, the numbers started upticking again. And secondly, there's 2 other new strands in New Jersey of this COVID.
Wow.
So people are afraid. They're even more afraid than they were before. So they're starting to really take it seriously. I do believe if we had nipped this in the bud in the beginning, not that it would be totally gone right now, eradicated, but I do believe that there's a good chance we would have had more people's lives saved. And I think that it wasn't taken as seriously as it should have been. And that's just my personal opinion, because I work in healthcare. But this is devastating. And I mean, there's not just Black people dying. People are dying from everywhere. I'm just telling you my story, and that it does affect people, and you can catch it. And some young people get over it quickly when they catch it. It's like flu-like symptoms, or they might get sick a little while, 2 days, whatever, and then they're over it in a lot of cases. But then there are those who don't. And there are some who caught COVID twice. Only reason I know is because I work in healthcare. So I'm saying there's a person who caught it 2 times over a course of a few months. And then the second time they caught it, they got over it, and then they had a stroke.
Oh.
So all COVID related. So they passed away anyway. So I'm just saying that to say people need to take seriously the fact that this mask is not a joke. It can actually save a life, really. And I mean, just like that woman who went to therapy and she's in her 80s and was in great health, and then caught it from someone who was probably working with her. And her family still doesn't totally know which person they could identify.
Right.
But when you think about that and say all these people were going along just fine, living a great life and healthy, and then all of a sudden this hit. So it's devastating. It really is. So if we could just honor that and actually wear a freaking mask for as long as we need to, and then everybody that wants to gets vaccinated and get control of what we're dealing with. Because if it wasn't for death, people can say, "Oh man, I don't feel like wearing a mask," so it'll make me go a nose a couple inches longer than normal. Okay, if that's your side effect, enjoy yourself. But we're talking about people that can die.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so important. I don't know what is so difficult for people to understand when we're talking about death. And it doesn't matter. You can't say, "Well, just treat everybody, put them all in the same bowl and say, well, it is what it is." It's not. It is what it is. You know what I mean? A lot of people have lost their jobs. But you can't go back. Where you gonna go back to work to? You might die, not even have a job. What are you gonna care about that if you don't make it?
Yeah.
We just a person from my job, her husband died from COVID. So this is not a joke. It's seriously not a joke. I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand. It's not a hoax. It's not a joke. You can get sick from it. You can die from it. You can be in a bad situation where after you've had it, you are not the same. A lot of people talk about how they don't feel as they did before they had COVID. So the side effects are horrible.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I personally feel like whatever it takes for us to get through this so we can have whatever our new norm is going to be, then we need to do it and honor that. All of us as one group of people, not just I believe this, you believe that. No, we want to get through this together so we all can go back to having a life that is productive and we can enjoy ourselves. Everybody misses not being able to go out and to go and enjoy entertainment and do whatever. And we only have here in New Jersey, we only have warm months a couple times a year. So we're stuck. And a lot of businesses have lost it. They've closed down. It's horrendous. Yeah. But what are we going to do? You know what I mean? I mean, a little stimulus check, thank God for it. It's not going to solve all the needs that we have. Of course not. And then you have people who are just getting little unemployment. It's just devastating. So we got to figure this out. And we're not going to figure it out if everybody is fighting against each other and talking about what does or doesn't work. I think it's so important that we stay the course, do what we got to do to work together and all have the same mindset so we can come through this. I don't want to see anybody else pass away. Seriously. I don't want to go through this anymore. I mean, it's inevitable. Things are going to happen, but I think it's so important that we try to at least honor wearing the mask so we can say, well, at least we did everything we could to try and get through this. I think that's the most important thing. If anybody were to take any takeaways, they should wear the mask, period. I know firsthand, trust me.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole thing about like not wanting to wear the mask. Like that's like,
right.
It's like I get that it's not comfortable, but neither is dying from COVID. That's not. I don't think COVID is a very comfortable way to go. No, and you're right. My wife and my mother, they both got it, and my mother was hospitalized, and it was very scary. My wife still can't smell. So yeah, there is a lot of things that could sort of go backfire on all this, and as you talk, and I'm thinking about me at the gym, and just people like at me, like spitting and grunting at me. I'm just like, ugh. But I like before my family sort of came down with it, we were started getting tired of the whole thing, tired of the lockdown, tired of the restrictions, and mostly tired of the hypocrisy and the just the double standards for politicians and for citizens, and then and you see these mayors and governors flying off to Cancun. Meanwhile, they're like, enjoy being in lockdown, stupid, and we're tired of the idea of like, oh, you got to walk through the restaurant with a mask on, but you can eat without the mask, or COVID only attacks after 10 o'clock at night. It's just the whole thing, all the memes, every meme you've seen, it was starting to. And, we were starting to just be like, get to that point where it's just like, maybe we just do need to open it up. But I feel like even if they did open it up, people are so scarred from the situation that I don't know if they're going to actually go. Because there's restaurants that are open, not full capacity, but even at their quarter capacity of whatever their regular, they're still not doing great. I mean, and people are still scared. So even if we opened all of this up and was just like, let's go, I mean,
Mhm.
would we still have the fallout, the economic fallout from people just
Mhm.
being afraid of going out and doing stuff?
Right. Right. You would. How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? This is not, when you really look at everything that we've had to deal with and endure with this thing, schools are still closed. People can't go to work full time. I had my boss had to bring her child into the office
Yeah.
yesterday, or Friday, I should say, and I was like, oh, she was like, well, I have nobody to watch them, and so when you think about all of those things that play a part, every part of our lives is significantly affected by COVID.
Yeah.
Period. Teachers don't want to catch this stuff, and teachers aren't even the first ones on the list to get the vaccine.
Mm.
But you want them to teach the kids in school.
Right.
I think it's absurd, and I think you're right with the politicians and their take on things, and do as we say and not as we do is ridiculous. But that's why it's important for us to know that what we think as a citizen matters, and if we need the information, you have to supply us with that so we can make great decisions about our health and what's in the best interest of the country, not just one person. All of us want to go out and do stuff. I was talking to a woman the other day, and she said she gives a service, right? And she said, yeah, somebody came in, one of their patrons, and they were like telling the person at the front, oh no, you can take my temperature. Oh, I'm fine. Then she goes back in the room to get the service done, and she tells this girl, oh, I just came back from Mexico. First of all, you didn't even quarantine yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh no, you gotta go. And I'm thinking, that's exactly right. Somebody's got to call them on this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You just came back from Mexico. You didn't quarantine yourself. But you told the girls at the front that you were screaming, oh, no, I'm fine. I haven't been around anyone. No, didn't leave the country. No, it. But it's ridiculous because they're still not taking it seriously.
Hmm.
It's privilege. It's just the idea of thinking I can go off and fly somewhere. You guys stay home or whatever, but I'm going to go enjoy myself and sit outside on a beach where there's hardly any people and have a good time, and then come back home and I ain't going to tell you nothing. Now, I might bring some back on the plane with me that I'm going to give to you and your family, but don't worry.
Yeah, it's all good. Just, let me in. Let me into your facility. Let me be the super spreader that you guys have been trying to avoid for the last year.
Oh my God. And there are so many of those people around, the asymptomatics.
Yes.
Oh my God. There was a guy who had it, right?
Mm.
He didn't even know he had it. And people were catching it. They're like, who is giving us this crap? Because he's in his family environment. And come find out he get tested and he got it. What are you talking about? I'm telling you, this is like the craziest thing. Oh, like all over somebody's face all the time. Hey, how you doing?
How was your weekend? Yeah.
I'm like, you better get out of here, dude. We ain't playing.
We're not playing. Yeah, no, it is crazy, and it's ever since we all came down with it, which was really weird, is that me and my son, we didn't catch it. I mean, I was with my wife the whole time. We were next to each other, and we were in the car. We got one of those drive-through ones. And hers comes back positive, mine came back negative, and as soon as I drive by, I started laughing like, oh!
You are not right.
I rolled down her window because I was like, yo, let's just get some fresh air in this bitch because I don't know what's gonna happen. Look, there's no sense in both of us be sick, right? Like, I don't know.
You are so wrong.
That was wrong. It was wrong.
She gonna get you after she's well. I mean, totally well. Like, you gonna get it, cousin.
Yeah.
And I'm a helper. I just
damn, plotting. Yeah, that's a first on the show. My guest.
I will plotting. Be calling her in a little while.
Reina brought up a good point. We need a nationwide plan, and you were sort of touching on the idea that Biden had this 100 days of masks. I haven't read up on this thing. Do you think that it's something that should be? Do you think it's something that should be? And I use the word lightly, forced. Do you think this is something that should be
Mandatory.
Mandatory, yes.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I do indeed. And I think that right now people are realizing you can't go into restaurants or do what you want to do and not wear a mask anymore. You can't go in the stores. You have no choice than to wear a mask. And if you don't wear a mask, you're going to be standing outside.
Right.
So I think at this point, their reconditioning of the mind is setting in, and they realize, regardless of what you want to do when you're home or wherever else you go, when it comes to doing what we need you to do, you're going to have to honor that, or you can't come in. I mean, I've seen the signs up everywhere you go where they say, without a mask, you cannot enter. Right. Regardless. And in the beginning, you remember there was a lot of fights and stuff you see on Facebook. People pissed off, right? I'm not wearing no mask. Right. Oh, you getting out of here, right? And then you got the little renter cops talking about, look, I need help over on aisle 3. I'm like, look, that person might have COVID. I'm a security guard. I'm glorified, but I ain't gonna mess with them. Right. They might have COVID.
Exactly. Hey. No, I mean it is scary because seeing my mom go through it and her being hospitalized, she missed Christmas. She missed that's her favorite holiday, and she missed Christmas. And and she's just this is happening all the time. And I mean, it's really weird to think about mandatory anything as American. You know what I mean? As an American, it's really hard to think about as something as lawfully you have to wear this mask or else you're going to be fined. And I think you're right. I think that they're going to do it more as on a social level, where it's like, okay, well, if you don't have a mask on, you can't come into this building. If you don't have a mask on, you can't participate in this event. If you don't have a mask on, you can't go to the doctor's office. Whatever it is, they can make it mandatory without actually making it lawfully mandatory. But
without strong arming them. Sure.
Exactly. But, hey, Pizza Jams.
Just put that mask on. Listen, I don't know if I want to do that. Well, I guess you ain't coming in here. If I own the business, I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't nobody coming in. You ain't coming.
You're not coming in. Hey, and that's fair. I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. When we were in Washington, we went into a comic book store, and my wife had just one of those
visor?
Yeah, the visor things. I think people are about over those things.
They over there, man.
They don't do nothing. But she had her visor on, and dude was like, can you bring that down a little more before you talk to me?
Exactly. Oh my God.
Thanks for that alert, Pizza Jam. I appreciate it. It's a weird thing to be. You mentioned that up in the beginning that if we would have did something different, if we would have done things different, maybe we would have been a little further along. What do you think that we could have done differently?
I think that people didn't take seriously wearing a mask. It was like, if you want to, you can. You're like, well, where's this thing coming from? Listen, it came from Wuhan. We didn't bring the thing over here. Right. I got no idea I got here. But all you got to do, if you feel like wearing a mask, go on and wear it. Right. However, I ain't telling you you're going to die. Right. That's probably not going to happen. So people were thinking, okay, well, I guess I won't wear a mask then. Because you're thinking nothing's going to happen, because nobody took seriously that this is something that could kill people. Right. They thought it was a rare case that you'd have people catch it, or you'd have people catch it and die, or you'd have as many people catch it in the different regions that ended up, getting very sick or passing away. So, and then the little senior centers, they didn't even think about the retirement homes. So it's like, when you think about if they took this and made it as mandatory, quote unquote, as it is right now, back then, we would have saved a lot of people. A lot of the healthcare workers, remember, they don't make a lot of money. So of course they're caring for these senior patients, and they have it, taking it home, live in a small home that has a lot of kids or other people in it. They don't have the luxury of having different rooms that you can go to. So if you catch it, you don't give it to so-and-so. So they still got to go to work, and they'll be just like that service worker who had that patient, that person that came in to get service, and she had been to Mexico and spreading this stuff around. And they're saying, well, I got to go to work. I can't not have my job. Right. Even if they had to work through being sick and not telling anybody, their boss or whoever, they still were giving this stuff to patients, because that's close contact. You know what I mean? So a lot of those seniors that passed away, it had to do with that. You didn't have the proper information. You didn't have the proper care. And these are workers. I mean, so again, when you're poor, you're in a situation where you don't make a lot of money. You got to go to work, man. Absolutely. You can't say, I'm going to wait until unemployment hits and I'm going to see if I fill all this paperwork right. I'll do X, Y, Z. Some people don't have computers. This is so deep when you look at the whole situation. A lot of families didn't have computers. Like, how you even doing this stuff? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Many of them can't even teach their kids. You know,
Right.
my kids would have had like algebra, math, and you're saying, I don't even know how to do no algebra. I'm gonna tell you the truth, Mike. I don't know nothing about no algebra. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know nothing about no algebra. Don't ask me. I hate numbers unless you give me some money to go buy something. So don't talk to me about no numbers like that and
Yeah.
formulas. So
Yeah.
I personally feel like these kids today, I could not do this. This stuff right here,
Yeah.
I don't want no parts. I
Yeah.
don't want none.
No, no, it's tough. The homeschooling thing really has been like, and we wanted to homeschool our kid,
Mm-hmm.
but once he started going, he's 6, he's about to turn 7, and
Oh,
so
like
he was in kindergarten and in first grade, and he wasn't taken to it very well. So this whole
right.
thing sort of had, he did not like kindergarten, like on a really serious level. He's very intelligent,
Uh-huh.
and the way the public school system works around here,
Mhm.
I get why he was sitting there and going kind of nuts, because they I don't know what is going on, but they hire, no, they sent out an email saying if anybody would like to volunteer as a teacher, no degree required.
What?
Just sign up here and you can come and teach our children and be a part of the community. Yay. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? So the school system in where we live is
Oh my
garbage. It's
God.
trash. And like the
That's
person who runs,
horrible.
I'm sorry, I'm just venting now. The person who runs the online academy,
Yes.
complete twit, does not know what they're doing, couldn't answer a question if they had the answer written on their palm. It was just like they're just an awful human being. Like, I don't understand how they manage to land in a position where they get to dictate whether or not your child gets to move forward. It's insanity. This woman is an idiot. She is awful. But
And I pray she don't watch this
I
show.
hope she does. I might send a link to her email. She is an idiot. I do not care for her one bit.
Oh
Um,
my God,
no,
you're killing me.
and no, you should, like, I was gonna call her because, like, I'm gonna call because she was sending these emails. I'm like, I'm gonna call her. I'm calling her. And I get on the phone and, like, I'm waiting there, and my wife is watching the whole situation unfold. And right before she says hello, she grabs the phone from me. It's like, hi. And then by the end of the conversation, she's like, I'm asking you a simple question. A simple question. Why can't you answer like,
Oh my God.
she's the voice of
Reina, what
reason.
is going on, Reina?
That's what I'm saying. We live in we're just behind the times. Where I'm at is just everything's about 5 years behind, and
Wow.
I
That's
just I
horrible.
it is horrible. And so when we took him out of school, like, he couldn't read when we took him out of school. Like, 2 months
Mhm.
later he was reading. 2 months later he was fine. So
Mhm.
but it's a struggle every time we go to do school. It's like, like, it's just. And so when you think about
Oh,
these parents who might not be in the position that me and my wife are in,
right.
parents who are working,
Yep.
12 hours a day, and
Yeah.
and then,
It's true.
or single parents out there who are working all
Right.
the time, and then they have to
Exactly.
jam this into their day, and their kids screaming at them because they
Oh my
hate it,
God.
and you don't understand what's going on because maybe you don't
You're
understand technology all that great either. So you're sitting there like, what
exactly.
the F is happening?
I
So
know.
to think about all of that, I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy change, but I
It
mean,
really is
but we're all dealing with it at the same time. And what I've been
trying.
what I've been yeah trying. What I've been
Mhm.
noticing is how, short tempered people are and very
Oh
impatient
yeah.
people are, and I'm
Hmm.
finding myself doing that too.
Hey
And
Mike, I can't see you.
oh,
The screen went black.
did I go black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Maybe it's my computer being on sleep. Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Good.
I'm, I was like,
I heard you talking, but I was like, where'd he go?
we're here. We're here. No,
Okay, good.
I don't know. It's just it's a weird time for everybody, and
It is.
I really am starting to try to, like, take note and be self-conscious about like how I'm acting towards people, because
Mhm.
I feel like we've been
Aw.
locked in our houses for so long. We forgot how to act and how to be
Mhm.
polite and stuff, because like I don't even like making eye contact with people. I'm such an introvert, and like outside of this, I am like introvert. I like being in my house. I don't like going outside. Well, I like going outside, but I just don't like going and associating with a bunch of people all
Right.
the
I
time.
would never have thought that.
I know it's weird. My hands are sweaty. Like right now, my hands are really sweaty. I'm very nervous, but
Aw.
it takes a lot of
Oh my
practice to
God.
look like you're not falling apart all the time. Uh,
Wow. Well,
but
you're doing a good job, let
oh
me
well,
tell
thank
you.
you. I appreciate it. It took me about 7 years.
Come on now, Mike. You better go ahead and be a poster child for people who are nervous, but they can go ahead and make it look like it's easy.
If I could do it, you can do it too.
Come on.
Come
Right.
on,
Come on.
come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm trying. I really am trying though to be mindful of how I'm acting, because I will
Mhm.
just start like even on the phone or anything. If they tell me something I don't want to hear, it's like, well, that's not what I want to hear. I demand service. You know, like all of a sudden
Oh
I'm
my
just this
God.
entitled jerk. Because I've been just sequestered in my house for the last year. So
Yeah.
I try to be a nice person, but I feel like that people are sort of just forgetting how to act. I don't know. Have you been noticing that? Have you been noticing that people are just sort of out there, just like cutting you off, and or just
I haven't noticed that. I
mm,
must say, I think more so because I probably don't pay them any mind.
there you
That's
go, there you
I
go.
have mastered that at my age. I've mastered that. And I also feel I believe strongly in loving the hell out of people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you just you just do what you do and you don't get caught up in the other nonsense. And you really can change or flip the script or the mood of a person
yeah,
based upon your reaction. So when we all know that that is empowerment, really, because a lot of folks are nasty, can be nasty. I shouldn't say are nasty, and you really can make the difference in how they receive something. Now, I know my pastor often says, you either going to be the thermostat or the thermometer. So, you know, with the thermometer, you go whichever way anything else is going around you. But if you're the thermostat, you set the tone and the mood in your area.
mm.
So they all got to adapt when they come over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like that's kind of like how that goes to me,
Yeah,
Mike. I ain't got time for that. I'm like, I act like you ain't a figment of my imagination. Whatever that attitude is, I don't even see it. I ain't got no time for it.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I've mastered that. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Has that been something that you've had to work on over time? I mean, or is that
Yes.
something that you had?
That has been a lifelong thing, buddy. That wasn't overnight. I ain't gonna lie to you, because sometimes, you know, mother might want to get short with somebody. I'm trying, you know, Lord, I'm trying. You know, I'm a work in progress,
Hey,
like
hey, we all are. We all are.
yes, indeed. But yeah, so I have. It's taken years, but I mean, you just get to a point where you don't take it personal when people are going through stuff, because there is a lot of stuff going on in the lives of
Right.
people. And when I started appreciating that and seeing that, and also knowing everybody's got a story, you know what I mean? Like nobody's coming out of this thing unscathed, and nobody is just because it looks like everything's all right on the outside, this facade we have, we still got to go to work. We still got to do all the things we do, and we still got to function. So, you know, coming back to even mental health, when you think about what we do, I mean, a lot of times you want to just curl up in the bed and not do anything, but you don't have a choice. Life goes on. You know, your kids need you. You got to go out and work. You need to make money. If you're not working, you got to figure out how you're going to survive or make ends meet. And that's one of the things I didn't understand with this stimulus thing. Like you saw how some other countries, I don't have the stats, but there were other countries that treated their people so well in regard to giving them money every month, or freezing any kind of a rental assistance or mortgage they would have had,
Yeah.
so that you didn't have to worry about that, giving out free food. Like they did everything they could to benefit their citizens. And yet this country is acting like they crazy. They don't even want to give us nothing, and we pay taxes.
Right.
I'm like, you ain't giving me anything. I've been working my whole life since I was
Mhm.
16 years old. So I feel like I have an entitlement, Mike.
Yeah.
I have an entitlement to something.
I
And they don't treat us right. I don't care. They should treat the citizens well, and that's not what we've been getting. So unfortunately, when you don't want to give us a stimulus, and then you want to take stimulus out of $600, what can somebody do with $600? You ain't seen nobody since last March. Was it more? Whenever they gave that stimulus, I don't even remember. Was it March or April?
it was
Whenever.
yeah, it was in April, and then they had the plus up until and for some people like in Ohio, that got cut off December 12th. So can you
Oh my
imagine
God.
December 12th, like your only source of income, and Christmas is around the corner, and all of a sudden
Oh,
because because a small group of people are can't decide, or they can't decide on what corporate master to obey, that
Right.
they can't, you know what I mean, like these people who are just giving and printing unlimited amounts of money
Money.
to their
Yep.
corporate masters.
Hmm.
Oh, we need to fund a
Wow.
war. Let's go. Let's go. It's like we're at the
Exactly.
club, man. It's like, let's get it done.
Exactly.
It's disgusting. It's
It
absolutely
is.
disgusting. I have not, like this country. I mean, so many people have just lost so much faith in it, and
Yeah.
that's really sad, because I really do love this country,
Me too.
with all its
Yeah.
faults and all
I
its
agree.
scars and all its
I
just
agree. Mhm.
atrocities that it's committed. I still think that we have something that not every other country has, and
It's true.
I it's really sad that this is how we have to. This is the legacy that we're leaving.
Oh,
Is
I
we
know.
got
I
these
know.
turds up here who would rather watch a nation starve than for them to miss a payment from their corporate masters. It's
Yeah.
just
It's true.
it's really disheartening. It really
It's
is.
disturbing. That's what it
Yeah,
is. You
it
think,
is
oh my
disturbing.
God, so we don't matter. Let me get this straight. We don't matter, but you want us to keep working. You want us to
Mm-hmm.
keep doing all the things that
Yeah.
keep making it productive for the people that are higher up. That's absolutely crazy. And
Mm.
yet at the same time, you don't even care if we live or die. Like it's the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. And unfortunately, I feel like this 2020 was amazing. And I say it was amazing because so many things happened coming right out the gate. When you look at all the stuff that happened, it started off with Kobe Bryant. I was devastated.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Then when you think about the pandemic and stuff that affected other people and how that came about, and then you saw it was as if we were all, the whole world was on time out. Okay, so that means all those people, like, you know how before when something happened over in Ohio, ain't nobody really knowing because you be like, girl, I was working, or I was down taking, I had a vacation, or I was over there, whatever. I didn't see the news, or you hear a lot of people say, I don't even watch the news because the news is so negative. I ain't got time for that, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you don't know what happened. So those were little times when you had little areas of things that you'd hear or know happening through somebody else. However, with this pandemic, God made it so that everybody got to see what was going on. You knew about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. It was
Yeah.
nothing left with us out without anybody saying, you know what, that's not right.
Yeah.
And it became a movement. And so it needed to happen because with all of the racism, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a sister and I'm so proud to be a sister. You know what I mean? But when I look at all the things that we have seen happen through the course of 2020, and it was blatant, I'm saying, like, well, if there was any confusion, there ain't no confusion now. That stuff really existed.
Yeah.
But it was like everybody else saw it. That's the thing. It wasn't just people saying something or crying out in the night or making this movement about Black power. Nonsense. Nonsense, not to say that that doesn't matter. I'm just saying that you don't have to say from another perspective, like, why do they always want to say that or use that? No, this was something you got to see firsthand, that this is how they're treating people and the difference. And then we can even fast forward to the Capitol situation and how those are not people of color, man.
Yeah.
And they were going there breaking stuff, stealing laptops, stealing phones, like
Taking
and
selfies with cops.
and 5 people died. How about that? 5 people, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I heard of some of the people were actually political officials that were marching with them that went in there and did that. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's just so ridiculous. So I've now, with everything that happened, people, I know it's a horrible thing that 2020 was, but it is as if the roof got tore off.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. It definitely did. Wooby one, thank you for that raid. Welcome everybody. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing okay. We're talking to Mary Cross, who is an R&B strong. Wow, she's R&B songstress out of Camden, New Jersey, and we're talking about we're talking about people. Well, you were saying that 2020 was a good year because it highlighted all of the
Yes.
hypocrisy and the racism that does
Hmm.
exist
Yes.
within this country, and yeah, it
To
highlighted a
raise
lot.
awareness, that was
Exactly,
the main thing. We
exactly.
needed to do that because people didn't take it as seriously. as it probably should have been taken. And I think it raising the awareness to make people actually see it. Because if you're always busy working 2-3 jobs, or you're flying off wherever and doing your thing, or worrying about your family, you aren't focused on that. You're saying, oh, they just whining or whatever else is going on. But this time around, you got to see firsthand things that were happening to other human beings, and there was no place to go. I mean, you only can watch so much television, but this stuff was on every bit of social media that exists. So you couldn't hide from it, or you didn't see it. You actually saw it. And then the movement took on a life of its own. And everybody and their mother became a part of this and understood. A lot of people understood how important it was for us to really do this.
Oh, thank you for that sub.
Hey.
Thank you for that sub, Wooby. I appreciate it. I forgot you can hear everything that happens now. It wasn't like that.
I was like,
Just 2 episodes ago, it wasn't like that. You couldn't hear anything that was going on. It was just me and you. It was just been me and you. But now, like all the sound effects, all the alerts, everything.
I love it.
Me too. I actually love that you could hear that. That's awesome. You wouldn't have like 3 hours of hip hop. Oh, stop. There's a lot of people talking about how, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but there was this idea over this last summer where people were like upset, people were angry, people were out of work, so people were out in the streets, and Corona or not, they wanted their voices to be heard, and I supported that the whole time. I don't support violence. I don't.
Right.
And on either side of the aisle, it's ridiculous.
Right.
But there's this argument sort of echoing around, and I know it echoing on both sides of the aisle, but it's this idea that we sort of let law and order go by the wayside, and this idea that over last summer, people were they opened up Rodeo Drive in LA, and just the cops weren't doing anything. They were just burning stuff out, and after a while, I don't think that's much of a movement. And I know there's that saying going around that, everybody's quoting MLK about riots and stuff. And, but I think there's a difference between, rioting and going and snatching up,
I agree.
some Gucci off of Rodeo Drive.
I agree. That was ridiculous. I totally 150% agree with you. And anything like that should not have happened. I am not in agreement with that. I think it's ridiculous. It's disrespectful. And it puts everything a horrible light on the issues that really are at hand. Yeah. So I'm totally in agreement with you on that. I don't even understand why people were doing that. I guess it was just the moment that they felt like they had some vulnerable situation.
Well, again, everybody's out of work. People are angry. People are frustrated. People are scared. People are. Yeah. I'm making up all these excuses for people to go out and commit like crimes, and there was deaths and a lot of stuff. Horrible things happened. But a lot of people are kind of saying that because we sort of set a precedence and sort of let the cat out of the bag, as some would say, about just letting people just run cities, open up their own sovereign cities within cities, Chaz and Seattle, that sort of opened the door for what we saw in the Capitol building. And I think I kind of agree with that, because it's like, that when you hear the reports, the mayor and the cops were just like, well, we don't want any problems. We don't want any issues to come back and blow back on us. So they were just sort of letting people in, and they did get overwhelmed. And there is videos of them opening up the riot gates and just letting them right in. And then you saw like the memes of like how the BLM protest in Washington, where there's stormtroopers on the Capitol steps, So it is weird. It's just everything's gotten so mixed up, where it's just like, where do we even go from here? How do protests go from here on out? I mean, is this what we have to expect now? Is like every time someone gets, every time something happens in this country, is like we got to burn the city down? Like I don't know where do you think this is going? And do you think that over the last summer's events sort of led the way for the Capitol events?
I'm not 100% sure that the Capitol events is relative to much of anything, except when the president mentioned things, and all
Yeah.
this was talking about the election. I think that's apples and oranges, in
Okay.
my opinion.
Okay. Fair enough.
In regard to what's happening now, I feel like there's going to be even more of an even playing field, because one of the things, when I say that, I mean that politically, because if you are a person of color and you want a representative that looks like you to help fight for some of your rights, and you don't have that in southern states, which is the deep south, it's a challenge for a lot of people. Then that makes it so you don't have representation that understands your issues. So we have that covered in a lot of states now. So that should help when it comes to being an advocate for people. So that in and of itself, I think will make a difference. And I don't, when you look at what's happened with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and so many others, it's unfortunate. It is awful. They were martyrs involuntarily. None of us support taking a life, period, whether it for whatever's going on. But there are corrupt people everywhere. That's the thing. So we can't just put everybody in a barrel and say this is what it is. You know, some people would say, well, some cops are doing it for a paycheck. They really are not trying to get into any situation. They don't know how to deal with human beings and the importance of human life, or someone that doesn't look like them. Like, you don't understand. That's why I'm a firm believer that if you're going to be a police officer, it's important that you do that in an area, if it's going to be a poverty-stricken area or whatever area or neighborhood, that the kids get to know you and they don't feel threatened by you or afraid of you, but they feel like they can talk to you, and then they know you, you acknowledge them. And then it's like, hey, don't bother that kid. That kid's so-and-so's son or whatever. And then it feels like more of a community kind of thing, rather than just, oh, he's black, oh my God, or he looks like he's a thug, or somebody called the cops on somebody. So, you know, it just gets out of hand. So we just have to look at people for who they are and what they can contribute to the conversation. And I think right now we're on a better playing field than we were, with the representation that is going to be helping the people. All I care about is the people, the citizens. You know, people are out of work. People want to go back to work. People need help. They need money. They need food. They need somebody to help them with their rent. They need to understand that everybody doesn't have money. And if you thought you had some savings, more than likely you've gone through a lot of that. And if you still got kids to raise and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet, or how you're even going to get to the next month or whatever, that's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. So I just think that we can get through this, but we all have to do it together. And it's going to start with wearing a mask. It still comes back to the mask, because if you don't wear a mask, you're not going to have your health, and you're not going to be able to effectively be in the community and a part of what we're trying to do to drive change for the positive, so that we all can come out of this. I don't want to sit home. I want to go on vacation like everybody else. But I understand the importance of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So with the Georgia turning blue with Stacey Abrams, I'm like, wow, that was like amazing. You know what I mean? A southern state like that. So, you know, regardless of what anybody else might have thought about whatever, everything that happens, there's a cause and effect. You and I know that, Mike. So I can't look at this from any perspective except all of the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone through our ancestors and the things that we've experienced in our lives, and even that still are ongoing in corporate America and other places. And I ain't gonna get into that, but I still think that we need to look at this from a perspective that we want positive change. We want to help people. We want to make a difference. And I'm a firm believer. I'm all about everybody getting what they need. You know what I mean? This right now is all about survival. People are trying to survive. They ain't even trying to thrive. They're trying to survive, man. When you got to go get in the line for hours to get a bag of food, that's crazy.
That is.
So that's kind of like what it is.
And you know, like when people are put in that survival state of mind, they tend to start breaking stuff to get what they need. So
they do.
And that's beyond racism. That's just human condition, right? That's just the human condition. When there is too little of a resource, humans lose their mind, and they will do whatever it takes to get that.
And you know what? I want to say one thing. I was watching this young lady. I don't remember her name, but what she said was so poignant. She had talked. It was after the riots, the George Floyd thing, and they were burning stuff down and robbing stores and stuff. And she wasn't doing it. She was talking about what they were doing. And she said, you know, when I really look at this, it's unfortunate, she said, but we're just tired. And she said, they should not have robbed the places. They shouldn't have done those things. But she said, it's almost like a Monopoly game. she said, say we're both playing the game. And then all of a sudden, it's a white person and a black person playing the game. So the game is supposed to be fair. Everybody's starting off equal. Okay. And then if the black person starts getting ahead, the other person says, you know what? No, we're going to upset the board. We're going to start over again. And so that's what she said it felt like to her, being in a poverty-stricken community and seeing that no matter how many strides they make to get ahead, they always seem to go behind again. And it's like they can't ever come up out of this thing, and it gets frustrating. And she said when they were robbing the stores, the people that were doing it were thinking, well, we'll never be able to shop at a Neiman Marcus, so we'll never be able to shop at whatever the stores are. And said, or if we go in there, people are walking behind us like you don't belong there, or, we're going to make sure you aren't stealing something. So their mindset, not that it's right or wrong, their mindset was, if I'll never be able to go into an environment like that, then I'm going to go in there this side. You see what I'm saying? It's not right. But she was explaining it from a perspective as one who lived in that area, to understand what people are dealing with. It wasn't even about the stuff per se. It was more so about just feeling like they didn't have a voice, and these rich people do, and this is their stuff, and we'll never be able to have what they have or do what they do. And it's like nobody saw that human life as mattering to anybody. Like, a lot of stuff didn't happen, and there's a lot of people who got killed, by officers or whoever, and those guys were never indicted, or they never went to jail. So
yeah, it's not really excusing the behavior rather than creating like the empathy within to like see how it could happen. It's like it's not right, but can you see how a lifetime of being smashed into the ground and being beaten and treated unfairly is gonna set you off, especially when the moment is right, which I'm not saying that was the right
camera. And on camera.
And on camera, just blatantly.
Deep. And people asking them, please stop. So and I don't even want to stay on this topic, but I'm just saying, when you look at all of the parts of that, oh Lord, it's just like your nerve endings are just like, to have seen that person die like that on film, that's like crazy. James Garner, same thing. I mean, this is real. Right. This is real. It didn't happen only once. In Ahmaud, I mean, I got nothing. I'm saying it just kept happening. Oh my gosh. Remember Sandra Bland? There's a lot of them, buddy. So when we think about that, it's like people are fed. I will tell you, they're fed up. It's one thing to learn how to operate and be a productive adult in a society. But then when you start seeing that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you believe or how much faith you have, you get that moment that something happens and it just destroys every thought you had about the fabric of this America that we call home. And we love the country. A lot of us do. So where else I'm gonna go? I was born here. I ain't got nowhere to go. My mother's from Germany, but I ain't. So I'm staying, cuz. Okay? I've been paying taxes since 16 years old. My first job, Mike. I ain't going nowhere. Get mine.
Yeah, me neither. I enjoy this country a lot, and
exactly.
And I plan to stay, and as long as they'll have me, I suppose. We got some questions from the chat here. The first one, Wooby, who rated us with his. Wooby asked if you could send your hat, and thank you for that ridiculous question.
Thank you for liking my hat, Wooby.
Enough for him to want you to send it to him to the UK at that. Right? You want to pay shipping too?
Right?
Come on, Wooby, at least offer to pay shipping. He has to go over an ocean. Man.
You see what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, where's Wooby at? Where is he?
He's still here. What is he doing? He's been talking about food.
No! What country or state does he live in?
He lives in the UK.
Ooh. Oh, he's in the UK. Hi, Wooby.
Yeah, Wooby's in the UK. DJ Colin. He has a dance too. It's called the Wooby dance.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that, Wooby. Wooby, I need you to go get my single though. If I'm gonna learn to dance, you gotta go get the single.
That's a good idea. Let me drop another one of those links so you guys can go and click on that and go ahead, and her new single is out, and you can go and hang out and click on any of those links, and that'll take you to her latest, which we heard at the top of the show. Nice. So then Reina asked, did you always do R&B, or did you start with another genre?
No, I actually started with gospel. I was always in church since I was 12 years old. And it was so
Hey.
Everybody was asked that, and I will tell you, my producer that helped me with write all three of these songs, he actually has written for so many people, right? Stars like celebrities and singers. So he would ask me every time I see him, he'd say, "So are you singing?" I'd be like, just in church," and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." But he never, forced me or said, "I need you to do this," or "You should try to sing a song." None of that. So it's really interesting how I started out in church at 12, sang my first song was a duet with another great singer named Felicia at the church, and she was like the choir coordinator. And then from there, we just had a really good time with that, and then stayed in church. And no matter through the years, I've always sang in church. So, but I always had this love, this great love to actually sing. I wanted to sing other types of music because I love R&B. I love Nora Jones. I love Sarah Bareilles. Like, I love everybody. I sing all their songs. I put them covers all up in my show. What? People be like, "Who's that song by?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't know Sarah Bareilles? Well, I gotta help you out." So, it's like things like that. And I think it's so great when you love all different genres of music, because then you can actually have an appreciation for other things. I don't, and with my voice being so like a bellowing low registry, it was never like when you hear gospel, you always hear a woman who could sing them high notes.
Jesus! Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, I ain't that chick. I'm gonna tell you right. Listen, don't come around here, Pastor, talking about, "Man, I need you to go." No, man, I ain't doing that. Lord, I can't do that. But I used to always try to figure out where was my niche, because my niche was always like, it was something that you wouldn't normally hear. Like, nobody singing gospel sound like they're going to sleep. But I did find songs. Different choir directors always found great songs for me to sing, but it had to be lower. It had to be lower. So I find that as much as I have a love for gospel music, I have a great love for all other types of music. And I would definitely say that I don't know. I guess I would say classic soul is my favorite. I would not say R&B per se, because I do like a lot of R&B music, which is changing. It's evolving in some way, shape, or form.
It's getting a lot sexier. I'll tell you that. It's getting a lot sexier. they are getting explicit, and I like it. Daniel Caesar. Oh my gosh. I fucking love Daniel Caesar.
He's amazing. Daniel
so
Caesar
good.
is amazing.
And
I do know that it's because of her.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, he can say, never mind. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to be. It's just like he makes like cuss words and like, explicit descriptions of anatomy sound just so beautiful, right? Like
It's amazing.
I'm just gonna say. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mary. I'm just gonna say it. Pussy wet like an ocean. How does someone make pussy wet like an ocean so beautiful? How? Daniel Caesar. That's how.
I tell you, but at least it's a little better than WAP.
Oh my
okay?
God. WAP. There's like. That was just stupid, but the kids love it. The kids love it.
And I was like, what is this all about? Are you serious? Yeah, you're right. The kids love it.
It wasn't even really a good song. I mean, I guess I had a beat. I mean, if I was in the club dancing and stuff, I would definitely be like, all right, I could dance to this. This is danceable. But when I put it on because I need to calm down after a long day of work,
no. That ain't happening. Not with that song. I was like, what? Oh God!
It sounds gross. It sounds gross. Like, is what?
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that I love about the type of genres or music that I do in my shows, I always have this thing about wearing attire that is adorning, but also at the same time, you want people to feel like you really took your time and put an outfit together. Lord have mercy. Don't just come here with any old thing on. I have seen it firsthand. So I'm saying I know what it's like to. It's important to me because I feel like, and I always say this to my audience, I feel like, if you've driven to where I am, to a venue so that you can see me perform, that is an honor, because there's so many other places you could have stopped at along the way before you got to where I am. And I appreciate the fact that they love me enough and enjoy my music enough that they would want to come and see me. So I want to go the extra mile. Sometimes I'll change my clothes 2-3 times just to wow them, because I want them to feel like, man, Mary, put that together. And then, as I said, when I go and interact with the audience, I'll give you, to me, it has to be an experience. Like, for you to say, oh, it's my birthday or my anniversary, I'm going to sing to you and serenade you. I'm also gonna keep talking about you all night long. Then I'm gonna come over to the table and talk to you. Then I'm gonna get everybody to sing along. I'm gonna get everybody else to sing with you. Then I'm gonna get everybody, y'all gonna join in this song. Like we'll do How Deep Is Your Love
Yeah.
and get everybody to sing a chorus of it. But it's fun. It's like an interaction and an experience so that when they leave, they feel good, like they were a part of something, not like I sang up here and sang at you. We were all in this together.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
And that even down to what I wear, I really think it's important because, you know, Nancy Wilson, Phyllis Hyman, and others, they always had this glam or grace on stage. And, you know, we've gotten away from that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
women,
WAP.
people don't do
Yeah,
that
WAP.
anymore.
We've gotten
Yeah,
far
right,
away
exactly.
from it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. When at first I was like, what does that mean? I was like, oh my God, that's so ridiculous. But yeah, so when you think about it, this is a dying kind of a way of presenting yourself on a stage, you know, and most of the time, if you find women in gowns now, it would be somebody in an orchestra who happens to be coming out and playing with the strings or whatever. You don't find that. And I just tend to love that kind of style and glam, you know, that's just my thing. So for me, it's important to have that kind of a brand because that's what my brand is. And I'm not going to sacrifice that for anybody else. That's my thing. And I say classic soul because classic soul is like, you don't find a lot of people singing about that the same way anymore.
Yeah.
Like Angie Stone, I think she does some things like that. And Lettucey definitely, in her own way, she does something like that. I love her. But a lot of these, this is just a younger, newer artist. But classic soul really has a place, its own place, because think about it. Tina Marie's not here anymore. Luther Vandross isn't here anymore. So many of them that aren't here to perform that music, that you just want to give good music. And that's what I pray more than anything, Mike. I really want people to enjoy the music that I put out, that it touches them and they understand that when I'm singing, I'm not just singing lyrics or just trying to put a song out, say, I got a beat, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it's important to say, I have this song and I hope that it means something to you because it meant something to me. So
Yeah. Well, I love that. I love that that classic approach to it. And when you look at like when you see those older soul singers come out and they're beautifully dressed or they got sequins
yes,
on or they all have matching outfits and they're all doing the moves
yes,
together and I love
yes.
it. I love that. I really, I mean, I absolutely love that kind of stuff.
Wonderful.
And I love I mean, I love what people are doing now with it, with that old school, because now there's this whole movement of actually recapturing the sounds of like old school soul or
Right.
80s R&B or you know like there's this whole
True.
movement. I mean, when you look at Bruno Mars's last album, it's all
Mhm.
like throwback 90s, 80s, 90s like
Mhm.
R&B, you know what I mean?
It was. I love
I
him.
loved
Yeah.
it. I love Bruno Mars and I love 24 Karat Magic. That album is
Yeah, man.
incredible. It's just
Indeed.
one of my favorites. So I really enjoy that, and like Leon
Mhm.
Bridges is great. He has
Yes.
Raphael Sadiq, like a few years
Oh
ago,
God,
did
yes.
some wonderful things where they did, and of course Amy. So like there's this whole like reemergence, and even where they go and they record it like they did. I was just talking. Oh, you were there. You were there. I love it when bands or artists do. Where they actually go out of their way to capture that sound. And my last guest, who you were there, Dave K
Yeah.
Music,
Mhm.
he's this old he plays like ragtime blues sort of
Yeah, he's
music.
very good. Was
Oh,
that
he's
a
really
banjo?
no, that is a guitar, but it has a resonator on it. I forgot what it's called. It's
Oh.
a
Oh
specific kind
wow,
of
because
guitar.
that's a question I asked and nobody answered me.
Oh,
I
I'm
was like,
sorry.
is that a banjo? But I wasn't sure.
No, it's a guitar, but it has like this resonator, so it has like this metal speaker inside of it. It like
Oh
it's
wow.
literally shaped like a metal speaker that's
Huh.
underneath it. So it when
Really?
he hits it, it makes it sound, but it
That
also gives
sound.
it that steel metal kind of sound that it's
Yes,
giving.
it did have that sound. I was like, that's odd because it doesn't sound like a regular
Right.
guitar.
I'm
Weird.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes chat moves and I miss it. Sometimes
Oh, no
I'm trying to
worries. I
get
know
better.
that. I'm sure of that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No
And plus,
worries.
I'm operating in like a space
Yeah,
shuttle.
you are a one man show, buddy. I understand. And you're
But
doing a great job, Mike.
oh well, I appreciate it. But like for instance with Dave, his band went into a barn and had
Mhm.
three mics. Had one mic that he uses all the time, which is actually especially made to sound like to
Oh,
capture
wow.
like that old
Captain
school.
sound. Yeah.
And they did it, and the album sounds great. It sounds like it could have been made in the early 1900s. And even I
Wow.
think like even with you, like your production sound, I love that.
Mhm.
You almost what song was it? I can't remember what song. Maybe it's even Promise has that sort of that old school vibe to it,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
it's like so like even like you even embody that in
Mhm.
your music in such ways.
Thank you.
What was the choice to sort of, was that a choice, or were you just sort of, I'm just going with the flow? Was it a choice to sort of to have that sound, that almost
Mhm.
that 90 early 90s, maybe even 80s sound
I
with.
would say it's not with me, it's not even a sound. I
Hmm.
think it's just whatever happens at the time. Like for instance, the first song, the debut single was In Love There's a Risk. And
Hmm.
Donald wrote that because I begged him,
Donald
because my fan
Robinson.
base got on my, yeah, Donald Robinson, my producer. He begged me, I mean, I begged him to write it something, because again, we were friends for all these years and I never asked him, I never wanted to record like that. But my fan base kept saying when I'd have these shows, why don't you have any material that we can buy from you? And
Hmm.
I'd say, well, I really wasn't interested in recording. And they'd say, oh no, we rather like to have something. So when I asked him, and he was like, sure, I'll write something. He wrote something and then he gave it to me and I sang it and that was it. So he wrote and produced that one. But the Promise song came about because it was last summer. I will never forget. It was a beautiful day outside and I was driving back from Haddonfield and this melody came to me. And when I heard the melody, it kept nagging at me. So I took my recorder out and I recorded the melody into it and the mic. And then I drove home and then it came to me, promise that you love me, always thinking of me. And I thought, that sounds really good. I said, And so then as the days wore on, the song stuck with me. And I never really thought about this singing thing like I can write or whatever. But as the days progressed and that melody, that chorus kept coming back to me, I said, wow, I didn't even record that. And it just is in my head. So then from there, I got this idea, the Promise. So, oh God, it'd be about couples or who got married and they were celebrating them. Because the problem, Mike, is that a lot of couples that get married, say for instance, you've been married months or you've been married a year or you've been married 5 years, a lot of times they only celebrate outwardly your decade anniversaries, you know what I mean? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you
Right.
know? And so for me, with all that happened with 2020 and all that stuff. So I just thought it was so important for us to celebrate people who have made the promise. Like if you made the promise that you wanted to be married, and I mean, no matter what the struggle, the hardships, whatever, and you chose to be in that relationship, that's deep because it's hard. Relationships are hard.
Absolutely.
So if you make that promise, then I
Mhm.
felt like they deserve to be celebrated. I celebrate everybody everywhere. I don't care how long you've been married. And as I said, I did 3 weddings over the last summer. So I'm saying no matter if it's with your newlywed or whatever, we wanted to celebrate them. And I have at the end of the actual music video, there is an outro that has all pictures of couples that got married
Oh.
that I know. So from 55 years straight through newlywed, you'll see couples in this outro of the music video that are just showing their names and then how many years or if they just got married. So, and that's a celebration I did dedicated to everyone who got married, but I couldn't put everybody in it because then we've been there all week.
I'm running the song underneath. You can probably hear it,
Yeah, I
uh,
can hear.
but I love that idea of you made that promise and you're sticking to it. And
Yeah.
are
Hmm.
you married or do you have a
Yes,
partner?
I've been married for 26 years. Yes.
Wow. And
Yeah.
and uh and I take it the good times have outweighed the bad times.
Yes, yes, definitely. But it's tough. And
Yes.
that's the thing. And nobody celebrates couples that stay together or are together or commit to those vows because and I'm not even talking about people who've gotten remarried or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you made the promise and you made the commitment to the person.
Right.
That's the thing. Too many times you find couples that are together, but they ain't connected, I
Right.
mean, ain't doing anything. But when you make that commitment to somebody, you make that promise, it really is a great thing to celebrate because we don't have much to celebrate anymore. I think you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. And when's the last time somebody really said, "Hey, you've been married 3 years? That's great." You know what I mean? I ain't seen no song come out, Mike, talk
Right.
about you got married. We're happy for you.
Right.
No, I ain't seen it. Okay,
Right.
I deserve one.
Yeah.
I've been in this game 26 years. Ain't nobody gave me. Let me say that again. I said, I've been in this game for 26 years and they ain't never gave me nothing to celebrate.
Gave me nothing but grief.
That's right. So
Oh,
I need somebody to celebrate me.
no.
So that's why the song came about. And
Yeah.
I just want people to know they deserve to be celebrated and
Aw.
appreciated. And now with losses of relationships everywhere in the last year, we didn't even foresee that they were going to be gone. This is like, you really should celebrate every moment you have with somebody you love. Period.
Yeah, absolutely. And me and my wife have been married for 10 years. And you know, it's not that long of time, but I mean, we have gone through so much together and so many things, and I think that's nice. I think it's really nice that you made a song and just in that, because there's so many times that people they give up and they just are like, you know what, it's just not worth it, and sometimes it's not. Well, sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes some people should just go. But
sometimes I'll be like, look, let me go outside for a minute. You know?
Yeah, I gotta go get a pack of smokes. Be right back. BRB.
Exactly. Yeah, but you know, it's tough. It is tough. And nobody celebrates that when you make the choice to say, I'm committed to this thing. You know, and that's why. And all of the people who are in the couples who I featured are friends of mine. So it's not people I don't know. These are couples I know.
Right.
So it's not like you say, oh, they're models. No, they're not. They're human beings that I know personally throughout my life. They've been married from 55 years straight through newlyweds.
There you go.
I'm honored for that.
Hey, and that's nice. I'm gonna drop the link to the video that I just was playing, which is just the lyric video, so people can go ahead and click on that and go check it out. But the actual video, there's gonna be an actual video.
Yes, an actual music video that's coming out on January the 15th, which is this Friday. I'm so excited about, and I think I sent you a trailer that has the actual you would have had a scene of me getting out of the car. Did you get that?
I'm not. Hold on. I'm almost sure I missed something. I did put together that slideshow though. We do have a slideshow, everybody. I hope you're ready. We got a slideshow coming for you.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm actually just excited to have the slideshow because it's just I get to do more with my stuff, and it's fun
that's
for
so
me.
Wonderful. It's exciting.
It's just fun to play with my toys because I'm a big.
Ain't nothing
baby.
like a man being able to play with his toys.
Hey,
exactly right.
All right.
Come on.
I'm looking for the video so we can.
Yeah, it should say. What should it say? Trailer. It should say 54 minutes or 50 something minutes.
Is it on? I think it's on Donald's page, right? I think he actually has.
I don't think so.
Oh,
no, I don't
not.
think so. What I sent you, he wouldn't have.
Oh,
it was the thing. There's a banner at the top and bottom that says "Promise" with me in the blue dress, and then in the center is the video itself. It's the banner I'm going to put up on Instagram. But you got it here first. You got it. It's a 54. I think it's 54 minutes and 54 seconds. I'm sorry, and it would just say "Promise." I think it just says promise. It should say. Let me see. Oh, if I turn this off, you. Oh no.
It's okay. I'm looking through to see if I can find any of the links. I got all the pictures you sent. Here's a link. Oh yeah, here. Wait, is this from the Facebook? Was it on the Facebook thing?
The Facebook. I don't know now. I think maybe.
Oh no, this is the Phyllis Hyman tribute.
Oh no, not that one. No. But it would say it should say 54 seconds or 58 seconds, something like that. You don't see it.
Oh no. Let me see. Snippet. No, that's the.
Okay.
I see. Was it with all the pictures you sent?
Yeah. Was it separate or with that? It might have been the one right before that. It might have been. I sent one thing first. What did I? I sent one email first, and then I said, I'm going to send you all the other stuff. So in the first email, I'm not sure. Let me see. Maybe I can go back and see. Oh, modern technology. Look at us. Oh, my. Hold on.
Hey, we waited to go live to do this, folks. So you guys are getting exclusive.
That's what we were doing.
Digging through emails live.
Hold on. I'm looking now. I'm looking. Hold on.
Would it be on your YouTube?
No, and actually, is it on my YouTube? N- uh, mm, no, I'm gonna have to send it to you
Well,
because if you don't have it, I'll send it to you. But I don't want to screw up our connection
well
right
then
now.
why don't we do this? Why don't we check out the slideshow
Okay.
and then if we can figure out how to do that, get that
Whoa.
thing going.
Okay.
Did you end up sending it to Reina by chance?
No,
Okay.
I would have sent everything to
No
you.
problem. No worries.
Um,
No worries at all. It's
yeah.
all good.
So I can look real fast. If you're gonna run the slideshow, let me look real fast,
Well,
okay?
I was gonna have you I was gonna run the slideshow, but I was hoping that you would talk us through it so we know
Oh,
what we're
okay.
looking at.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. I'm here. All right.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna give the 54
You're so sweet, Mike.
I'm
Raina, you did good.
the
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, Raina. Oh Lord,
she's
we're gonna get him.
she's shaking her head no, like I bet she's just like, yeah, right, this I got stuck with this guy. Let me trailer. Let me see if I can
Mhm.
just search it.
Yeah, it may, and I know I made it live only because I wanted you to be able to have a copy of it because I'm gonna put it back on. I'm gonna take it off public
This is
after you view it because I don't want anybody to see it
lyric
until
video.
then. But it was just the trailer. Um, I was looking to see if I
Oh, okay. I see it. I
you
have
see
it.
it.
I have it.
Oh
Now I
yeah,
have.
that's it. Yeah, because it's the intro of my first song, and then we go into
Okay. Let me you know what? Let me just do this. I'll just
the
do it right
man
now.
and his toys. The man and his
There's just
toys.
too many toys. That's the problem. And I don't even know how to
All
use
those
them right.
gadgets.
I
I'm
have
gonna start calling you Inspector Gadget. Come on.
I'm gonna. I gotta learn how to use my toys. Thank God I have a wife to show me how to use my toys.
She's
Uh,
fabulous too.
let
Exactly.
let me. Boom. Okay, that's what I had to do. I just had to. I had to. Let me see if I could. No, that's not gonna look right. I had to search it correctly. So let me
Okay.
see if I can actually. Okay, we'll do this. Give me
Hmm.
1 second, and we're gonna change a couple things, and then we'll do the slideshow. And then
Okay.
so we'll show this. We're gonna show this video right now,
Sweet.
and we'll change it here. And we're gonna lose Mary just for a second, everybody, but she'll be right back. She'll be right back. All right, let's enjoy this video.
But there's something in the air we can't, 'cause we both know, we both know, we both know. In love, there's a reason. Miss Cross.
Love it, love it. That was awesome.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
let's get a round of applause for that. I know. That's what I was gonna say, Booby. That dude was just straight up checking you out, just no shame in his game, just like steak
Awesome.
face
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
everything. Okay,
Right?
that was awesome. Oh, well, there you go.
Raina.
Yeah, that was Reina. We're doing a Hadouken. Thank you for that Hadouken, Reina Mystique. I appreciate that. Let me do some. Let me. I'm gonna set up this slideshow because
Okay.
thank you for those claps as well. So I'll be right back,
Thank you for the
everybody.
clap. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna set up this slideshow so we can sort of go through here and
Okay.
have Mary go through and talk about some of her things in the past and
Yeah.
Stop.
He's
I thought
really
this was a nice way to sort of present this. So let me
okay.
figure out how I'm going to. Well, I know how I'm going to do
Okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta do it. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
And there's that. Oh no! Come on. We're gonna do this. It's gonna
I
happen.
know.
It's gonna
I have
happen.
every faith in you, Mike. Oh my
Thank you,
God.
Mary. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So now I'm gonna share a screen with you. So be
Okay.
prepared for that.
Okay. I
And then
actually have it on my phone too, so I can see you.
oh, okay, cool. Well, this will give you real time, so you can see
Okay.
in real time what's going
Got it.
on. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna do this, and boom, and you should be seeing stuff. Do you see it?
Yes, I do. That
Perfect.
is William Smooth Wardlow. They call him Smooth because he
Oh wait, wait,
sings.
wait.
He's
They
like,
can't see it yet, Mary. So
oh,
I'm making it look nice so they can see you,
ah,
and I'm so happy about this right now because they're gonna be able to see you
wow.
and the picture, and you can see. I'm no, you just don't even know.
Oh,
I was working. I was
look at
working.
that.
I was working with very minimal stuff, and just in the last couple shows, my whole system has upgraded like exponentially.
I
So
see. This
I'm
is
very
fabulous.
excited about all of this. Okay,
And you
so
should be.
who is
Mhm.
this gentleman you're with here, and what's
That
going
is
on?
William Smooth Wardlaw.
Okay.
He is someone who does Luther Vandross performances, and
Oh.
he's phenomenal. You would not know it wasn't Luther
Oh.
if nobody told you. He's that good.
Hey.
And I mean, I don't say this lightly. He's been performing everywhere. So I actually opened for him that night, and I had changed my clothes because I was opening act. So of course, by the time he got done, I was like in regular casual clothes. But yeah, he's a doll baby. Really, really, really nice team. Really nice team. But he's amazing. The whole show is amazing. That's a person you really should look into getting. He's amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
you when you were talking about your producer Donald, I was thinking about him
Yeah.
as well. You were saying
Oh
who's
yeah, he
Donald worked
definitely could
with?
go on. Sure. Absolutely.
Who's Donald worked with? 'Cause-
Donald's worked with Rochelle Farrell, Phyllis Hyman.
Oh
Oh my
wow.
God, I knew I wasn't gonna get this right. It's in the bio. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
He's
No.
worked with so many of them out of Philadelphia. The South of Philadelphia is Donald Robinson. So
Gotcha.
he is one of the ones that is a heavy hitter when it comes to that, and he's Grammy nominated.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is he's amazing. He really is, and how he can write a song, and then that to take the melody that I gave him from me putting this on a recorder, and then presenting that song. The only thing I said to him, I said, I want the song Promise to have a mystical kind of dreamy sound. Don't
Yeah.
you agree it has that?
It does. It
It
does.
does. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
said, that's what I wanted. So, and even when you watch the actual official music video, you'll understand it's just to be a dream. It's not like reality. You're wishing or wanting that, you know
Mm.
what I mean, from your significant other, your spouse, whatever. So yeah, he actually came through with that. And then I heard strings and he heard strings. So it was like he put this, what you call a lush string section on the song. And of course, Carl Cox, a phenomenal Carl Cox playing saxophone was like tremendous. He did an outstanding
Yeah.
job
That was a
too.
great
So
saxophone.
yeah,
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 nailed
great
it. No,
job.
that's a great song. Just all
Ooh,
around great song, production
thank
wise and
you.
everything. Let's go to the next thing
Okay.
here. Okay, here's you with your black and white dress.
Yes, yeah. I had done a number of photo shoots in 2020, and this was one of them that is that blue gown.
Hmm.
And we just thought it was a nice picture. It was the one we were going to go with, but we ended up going with the other one for the Promise album cover or single cover.
Hmm.
This was the one we were going to use, but I decided on the other one because my head was up in the other picture.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, in this picture, it was 90 something
Ooh.
degrees outside. I don't even know how I wasn't sweating. But oh my God, it was great. It was great, a great day.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, oh, I went the wrong way. Hold on. By the way, Wooby was saying that this looked like a body hanging over here. But thank you, Wooby. Thank you for bringing violence into this
Whoopi,
peaceful
thank
place.
you.
Okay. And then so this I love this hat. What's going on with this hat?
Thank
You
you.
I
Yeah,
noticed that you like hats.
American Hat. A pastor from she owns American Hats in Philadelphia,
Oh, okay.
and she actually made my hat. She makes most of my hats.
Oh,
But this
okay.
hat in particular, yeah, I did a TV performance in Center City, Philadelphia, and so some of the songs I did was like a Phyllis Hyman mini tribute. And so we wanted to have one of Phyllis's kind of hats that she would wear, a Nefertiti kind of look, and this was
Mm,
the hat. So kind of
nice.
like what it
Yeah,
was.
that's
Thank you.
awesome. And then this is your band.
This is my band members. Yeah, some of them are alternates, but I mean, it wasn't the best picture. It's kind of grainy, but it was. That's a lot of them. And some of them are not there in the shot, but these are the ones we had at that day.
Yeah, it's I
Yeah.
mean, it looks like a fine group of fellas there.
Yeah, they're wonderful to work with. Seriously, we've been together 3 years now,
Oh,
so
nice.
they're awesome, really awesome. Whatever I want or ask them to do, they will do it, which is great.
With Donald, when he produces,
Mhm.
does he do most of the tracking himself? Because some of that sounds
Yes.
pretty like real instrumentation.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, we have other musicians that were on it. Randy Bolin and was on guitar. Marcus Myers was on drums, and Cedric Napoleon was on bass, I believe. But yeah, so and that's like live musicians normally that he will either have come in or he'll give them the track to
hmm,
play over top of or whatever. But
gotcha.
yeah, so it's he works directly with them like that to get
Mm,
that sound that he's looking for.
gotcha.
Uh, because mine ends after I make the song. It's done. I say, okay, we
I
got
feel you. I wrote the words. I sang it.
right. Exactly.
You go do
Oh my
what you
God.
gotta do. That's how my wife is. That's how my wife. She's like, look, I wrote it. I sang it. Okay,
Right.
make it
Isn't
sound
that enough?
pretty.
What else do we have to do? Bring home the bacon and fry it up in a pan too. That's
Oh my god, that was
all.
loud. Sorry for blasting your ears off there,
Oh
everybody.
my God, I love
Okay,
it.
so tell me about this picture. What's going on
Oh
here?
yeah, it was this was a show I did. Actually, this was the show where we debuted the song "In Love There's a Risk." Like we were telling people, we got a song. I got a song. Finally, y'all can leave me alone. Saying, Lord Mary, please come up with a song. I actually had a song. So at this show, I was excited to share that with the audience. And the photographer had captured that shot, and I thought it was a really great shot of me.
Yeah, it's enveloping the spirit there. I can see you
Yes,
doing it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Oh my God, yes.
channel it.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
this one, look at this one now. If this
Oh
isn't
my
90s, I'm loving this.
God. The matching jackets and all, right?
Ooh, I
So
love
this
it.
is a close up of me with the fierce girl group that I was with when we were with Boys to Men. This was we had done an Essence photo shoot for Essence magazine.
Mm.
They had the people come in and do all the glam, the makeup, everything. And we had the silk, those were silk jackets back in the day.
Oh,
And we had done a close up because they were saying, "Oh my God, Mary, you look like Vanessa Williams." And I thought, no, I don't. But a lot of people said
I
I
can see
tend to
it.
look familiar. I look
I
like her
can
a
see
little
it.
bit. They could see the
I can
resemblance. I
see
thought
it.
that
I
was
can
fun.
see it. Well, Wooby says that looked like stained glass.
No,
Wooby, why can't you?
yeah, the jackets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Oh, they're pretty.
would,
If
would
they saw them in person, they're a lot better.
would you wear that these days?
No,
I think I would. I think I
no,
would.
I wouldn't wear it now because you know what? Silk is so different now. Like
Mm,
the silk, that silk back in the day was really good quality, and I
straight
think
from the
today,
worm, right?
yeah,
Mm,
and you know, you get a stain on silk. Oh my God.
yeah.
So no, no, I wouldn't. Not today.
Yeah.
Not because it's not nice looking as a jacket, but because I think that I don't. Silk ain't doing it for me anymore.
Right. Well, no, you learn what fabrics work with your skin, right? And
Exactly.
silk doesn't
Exactly.
work with Mary's skin. So
No, it's not.
Miss Cross is
Don't do
gonna.
it to yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, my wife's the same way. She's like, if it isn't cotton, I'm not really interested.
Oh, give me cotton or give me death. Okay. I gotta breathe. This skin gotta breathe,
Yeah.
buddy.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey. It's a living organism. It has to breathe.
Exactly. It has to breathe. Exactly.
And then, oh, this is the same one we looked at earlier. Okay, so
Yeah. Mhm.
here's
Okay,
another
this was
one.
a Phyllis Hyman tribute I did when I opened for Eban Brown, who was
Mm,
the voice of the Stylistics. He is amazing. He does all that break up to make up. That's all we
mm,
do. And I was the opening act. So of course I had another attire on that was the gown like Phyllis would wear and one of those Nefertiti hats that
mm.
had the screen around the edges. But it was a great night. Yeah, really great night with the
When
band behind me.
when you're touring with Fears, were you guys were touring with Boys the Men?
Yeah, we were touring with them, but we never actually we didn't fulfill our obligations as artists because I left the group.
Oh, what happened?
Oh my God, I was blackballed after that. They were pissed off. Oh, I
Oh,
don't know if I can say that on camera, but
yeah, you can
yeah.
say it. We're
Yeah,
we're
okay.
you
So
can say
yeah,
whatever.
no, I decided that I wanted to settle down and get married. And
Oh,
they were not having that, and we had a contract with a
oops.
lawyer and all that stuff, and it was not good. It wasn't good. But when you're young, you just think I was older than they were, a little
Mm-hmm.
older than them, and I had won the audition to actually be the voice, the fourth person of the group.
Uh-huh.
But there were things I didn't care for. For instance, late night, they'd have to reopen up restaurants after we were done touring because they couldn't, the guys couldn't, Boys Men couldn't go out in public like regular people go to the movies or go to
Right.
the restaurant. So they did everything late hours. And then, like, a lot of times you had these groupies that were always around, and then they wanted you to wear provocative clothing for engagements, like when everything was over and you meeting and greeting people. And that wasn't for me. You know what I mean? When you're
Yeah.
younger or you're hungry, they tend to be more, oh, I'll do it. Okay, yeah, whatever. I was like, I ain't got time for this. To
I'm
be
in
honest,
love. I'm in
I
love with
was like, get out of here with that, okay? So that's kind of like how I went left, and
um
it is what it is. So I don't regret it. I don't
mhm.
regret it. I just think that it wasn't good because you need the fourth person, especially after you've done all the work to
Yeah.
you know to go through the auditions and it was a great sound. We did a thing for BJ in the morning. We did some great stuff. Being from Philly, they played on the fact that we were from Philly. Of course, I was from Jersey, but no one knew that. And the girls were great. It's just, nah, that life is not for everybody, Mike.
Right. No.
Seriously. It's
I
all seriousness,
mhm.
and I knew that I couldn't keep up that facade, and it was a facade. You're lonely all the time, you can't do anything, you kind of got to go with the flow when you're in a hotel room or
Mhm.
you're out on a stage or you're doing something, and you kind of like at the beck and call of people, and they tell you that they're having outfits made. You got to wear what they tell you to wear. Nah, it ain't for everybody.
No, no, it's not. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. No, I hear it all the time. It's like I
Mhm.
chose a regular life because that was insane. Like that's just
Yeah,
you're constantly being shuttled around, like you
true.
said, you're by yourself, you're in hotels, you're never in your own
Yeah,
bed, you're
and you
not
owe
wearing
them
what you want.
money. You owe them money for
Yeah.
every bit
Oh,
of cash they put out for everything
right.
from the clothes, the makeup, the glam
Wow.
squad, everything. And that's a long time for you not be making no money because you got that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you
So, the studio time, everything was horrible.
did you accrue debt personally from being a part of the band?
All four of us did, and that's why for a long time but I wasn't trying to sing. I mean, I had made up my mind that wasn't what I was gonna do.
Mhm.
But yeah, so it was debt for a while. But
Wow.
I guess after a while, the manager decided I'm gonna just,
Just
because I ain't paid. Hear me when I tell you I ain't paid nothing. And at
I
this
wouldn't
point,
pay anything either.
I think we're past whatever that statute of limitations is that I can say that out loud. But I ain't giving you no money. When I ain't did it, y'all put me in them clothes. I ain't want to be doing that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's interesting that you now what did you leave the band to marry the person you're with currently?
No. Well,
Oh.
we were planning to get married, but I
Mm.
just knew that I couldn't stay.
You
It's no
still
kind of life.
understood that that wasn't the life for you.
Yeah,
It
no,
wasn't
that
just
was
it
not
wasn't just that you were in love. You just
right.
realized that this was not the lifestyle that
Right.
you wanted to
Not at
continue with.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all. You had no life. You're like you said, you're kind of like you have to do what they tell you to do when they tell you to do it, and you're
Hmm.
really up late and midday when everybody else the stuff they're doing normal times and hours you're not doing until late night, and then
Right.
to go to a movie theater, have them open it up late after hours, or go to a restaurant when
Mm.
everybody else is already gone home, and then they have to cook special foods for you guys to eat. That's not fun.
Yeah.
What the heck? I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to eat like normal people. And then you go to the hotel and all these girls are, oh my God, the girls. Man, they find out. I want to know how they found out what hotel we was at anyway. I want to know. I was like, oh my God, you can't even come through the front door. I was like, boy, these some hungry chicks up in this joint.
Hey,
Oh
and
my
so this
God.
this was when Boys the Men were at their peak that you guys were
Yes.
touring. So
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
they were yeah, so
So yeah.
they wanted some
Oh
Boys
yeah,
the
they
Men.
was everywhere. They was like roaches. I was like, come on now, cut that out.
How
They go to the concert, then you go to the hotel, they find what is that? Come on.
How was Boys the Men, like the guys themselves?
Wonderful
They were
and
nice.
gracious. And this is when Mike Bass was still with them,
Mm,
actually, but they were wonderful. I mean, all being from Philly, their moms were wonderful, open their homes to us, and we eat over there sometime and things like
wow.
that. So it was a great family kind of environment. We'd sit sometime in a hotel and they create music and songs and stuff. Like it was just like you didn't have anybody else, so you all
Right.
kind of like became a family kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we were babies, so you got to remember when we were doing this, we were young and we were trying to figure out what our sound was going to be like. It's a lot of production leading up to what they're going to create for
Mm,
you. So that's why we didn't actually have our recordings done and all, because they were building the brand.
right.
But at the same time, you to get your name out there and have you do things like the radio drops and go to the studios and stuff and be with them was kind of like the promotional kind of thing, which was exciting.
Hmm.
And for somebody who's young and wants to do that, but it's not for everybody. It's just not. And I think you
Yeah.
got to know, more importantly than knowing what you want is knowing what you don't want,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. And was that oh, thank you for that follow, Romari the voice. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The what was that a hard decision for you, or was it pretty cut and dry for you?
No, I would say when you get into a situation, I think the decision was made for me based upon things that happened. For instance, if people were coming on to me, or the outfits, the length of the skirts and stuff were very short, and the stuff they asked you to do, going around people you don't necessarily want to fraternize with, like those things helped me make the decision. I don't want
Mm,
to be a part of
yeah.
something that's causing me to have questions about what I really believe in. I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Where the others are like, oh, why don't you just suck it up? Just come on and do it because we trying to become this or do this. I was
Right.
like, well, that ain't for me. And so
Mm,
it took me a minute because I love the girls. You know what I mean? I didn't
right.
necessarily want us to have to go through that situation and knowing all of that was invested in me becoming a member of that, group. But
Wow.
that lifestyle, and nobody had told me there was such a thing as that kind of a situation that you'd be put in the entertainment industry. And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't for me. It's not for everybody, for sure.
Right.
And I could say I knew that I didn't feel comfortable. When you don't feel comfortable, you got to kind of know I can't do that. I just
Yeah.
can't. It was tough. That would made it
Yeah.
tough because I love the girls, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were mad, I'm sure. But
Were you ever put in in a bad situation where people were asking things of you that you were like very
no,
uncomfortable?
I think that when you're like that and you're young, it's not even like them asking. I think it's like subliminal messages that
Yeah.
come out of things, and they expect you to be like, "Oh, there's such a great person. This
Yeah.
person can do this for me." I
Hmm.
wasn't into that. Let
Yeah.
me say that again. I wasn't into that. I don't care what you got, where you from, I don't care about none of that. Treat people right, man. I don't care about none of that stuff that you got, because you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I
Hmm.
do. And I
Yeah.
feel like people are getting sidetracked with who got what go in your pocket don't go in mine. So in
Right.
actuality, who cares what you say about whatever? So I think you just have to know who you are and what you want to put up with and tolerate, and that wasn't one of them. And I felt like, what kind of person does that or puts a young person or kid into situations like that, and you don't even care, you don't really care about them,
No.
but you want something from them.
Yeah.
So but no, I never got that far. I was just like, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
You
You
just
could.
gotta know.
Yeah.
Just gotta know.
You just gotta know. You gotta know when to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's check out this next picture. Now, who's this?
Yeah, this is my girlfand D, and
Hey,
I
D.
just love the dress. That was a nice full length picture of me in that dress.
Yeah, I
That
just
dress
like the dress. Thank you. Thank you.
Come on now, I'm a stylista.
Hey.
Stylista love the dress, hunty. So that dress right there is saying something. I look like $2 million, not one but two, Mike. Come on.
I
Raina was
love
in agreement with me on this one.
I
But
love it.
yeah,
I love
I
it.
love that gown. That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite gowns, and it was such a nice picture. So I thought, oh goodness, that's
Well,
nice.
I appreciate you sharing it.
Yeah,
Are we at the end? Was that everything?
is that it?
I guess so. I guess
Look
we
at it.
blew.
Yeah,
I guess we blew
look at
through them all.
that.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, all right. Give us a second. Do you wait? Hold on. Do you hear something?
Uh-oh.
Do you hear something?
I do hear something.
What is that sound? Oh well, now thank you, Rita, for the claps.
Sound like X-Men to me.
It's no, it's how much does it cost? on Craigslist. We're gonna play a quick game, everybody. And thank you for the Ric Flair whoop. Appreciate that. Your favorite today. I appreciate that. We're gonna play a quick game with our guest Mary Cross, and we'll be right back. So just give us 1 second to get our stuff together here, and we will beat our beat.
Love this game.
Okay, just give us 1 second. I'm gonna mute you, Mary, so I'm not gonna be able to hear you. So give me 1 second, and we'll get this taken care of. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back, and I still don't have good music for the stupid game show because I can't play Spanish Flea anymore, so we're just playing Sonic. All right, everybody, it's time for America's favorite game. How much does it cost on Craigslist? That's right, the only game where we get to bid on other people's garbage that they don't want anymore, so you got to overpay for it and you go to some weirdo's house who... You know that they're just hoarding it. It's probably filthy,
Exactly.
but you gotta take that home. You need that new sofa, so you're gonna take it home. It smells funny, but you know you got Febreze. You're good. Okay, guys. So the name of the game is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? And of course, it is brought to you by our sponsor, ModedStudios.com, where you can go and get all your favorite fully embroidered patches and apparel. Now, we're getting low on patches, so we have more apparel going on. But we have the We Speak English Good patch. We have the Wallaby shoe. We have no mamas way. We have and I think and then we have a mask. So we have a WSEG mask as well. So that's what we're playing for today, folks. We got an order of patches coming. So everybody go go check out Moded Studios. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They got like Wu-Tang patches that you can get customized to your country. You can customize it to your own design. You can customize it to your own favorite sports team. That's right. You can get a fully embroidered Wu-Tang patch customized for you. So modedstudios.com, go check it out. All right, guys, let's the rules of the game are pretty easy. It's whoever is closest to the bid. It's kind of like The Price is Right, but you can go over in price. So it's whoever is closest to the actual price that's listed on Craigslist. So here is our first item up for bid. It is a building and 2 AC old motel. Commercial building and 2 acres. Oh, I see, 2 acres. Commercial building and 2 acres for sale by owner. 2-story block building, 18 by 200 feet, new windows and metal roof, located at blank. Site of the filming of Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere. 21 rooms, office and manager's apartments, closed since April 2020. Well water and septic system currently winterized. Half basement, 1 interior garage, 2 exterior. Hotel liquor license available, but not active. Mary Cross, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
I say that item costs $187,200.
$187K. Okay, folks, you heard it. She dropped $187,000. Of course, for our overseas friends, this is in US dollars, so please consider that. But you can just throw out numbers. We'll just consider it US dollars. So go ahead. You guys have until the end of this song. Go ahead, drop your bids in the chat.
Yes.
You got until the end of this. So go ahead. Drop those beats. Drop those. Drop it, 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 drop it. That's it. That's all. That's all. Who wants to play? Wooby. Thank you. At least Wooby's in it. There you go. 260. Okay. We'll read it here. All right. So your favorite today has 1.2 million. And if you want to bid, folks, go ahead. You feel free to jump in anytime. Your favorite today says 1.2 million. Saucy Chicken Nuggets says $20,000. $20,009. I think that's how you say that. Wow.
Okay.
Reina Mystique says 180. Oh no. 187,000 for Mary. 187,200. I think she just said 187,000. Period.
No, I said 187 too. Yeah,
Oh! She had it right.
Yeah.
I bet. I'm sorry.
Because Raina's all that, and me and Raina got plans for you, cousin.
All right. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Wooby1 says 830,000 chips. Reina Mystique says 260K. Crinkle crinkle. Mighty says 150,500. Those spicy spiral chips too. Mark knows. Okay, I don't know who Mark is. All right, guys. Let's get a drum roll going here. Oops, that's not how it works. Okay, go drum.
I love all these sound effects.
All right, actual retail price on Craigslist. Oop. Here we go. What is it? $250,000. So, whoa, Reina Mystique, how she cheated. You know she cheated.
She probably cheated.
She
probably cheated because that ain't right. Because I said 100 and what I say?
87 too.
187,000 too.
She went.
So I was close. I was 70,000 short.
You're 70,000, but she's 10. All right, give it to Mary. Oh well, there you go. You've been gifted. So in this game, anybody who wins can gift their prize to whoever. So you have been gifted a prize. So you can pick between these things, and I'll send you a picture too. You don't have to pick right now.
I'll take the mask.
Okay.
You know, I'm a firm believer in the mask.
We all know. Mary is a firm believer in the mask. Okay, so if you didn't win, that's okay, folks. You get one more chance to win, and that chance happens now. Okay, antique table planter from Italy. That's right, it's from Italy. Purchased for blank in 2015. Would like blank. Beautiful antique planter from Italy, 51 inches long, 26 inches wide, and 27 inches tall. And for our overseas friends, good luck doing the conversion. But there's a picture. You can look at it and surmise a guess from that. So,
is it wood or steel?
It looks like it's wood and looks like it has some sort of steel on it. So I'm not too sure which, but it's wood. It's definitely wood, but then it definitely has a little bit of steel on there. So, Mary Cross, how much does this item cost?
Well, I was gonna say 50 cents, but I thought that's a little low. Because I think about somebody shipping that somewhere, I got to go to your house and pick it up. That thing looked like all the little paint chips gonna come off in my car.
Yeah.
So I would suffice to say that this table is worth $12. And you know,
12. It is an awful looking table. I agree with you completely. Okay.
I'm like, you serious, or you gonna refurbish that and then come to me?
Yeah, right. It's like, can I get a paint job?
The one for that sucker? I don't think so. $12.
Okay, so let's give everyone a chance here. All right, guys, go ahead and drop those bids in the show or in the chat. Go ahead. You got. What's up?
In actuality, they should be paying us to take that.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Look how awful that thing is. Why would I ever want that anywhere near me or on my property? It's like, I know it's a planter, but okay. We're gonna start the timer over again. All right, guys, you got until the end of you got until Sonic dies to drop those bids. So go ahead, drop them in the chat. Drop those bids. Here we go. it looks very distressed at itself. Yeah.
I know. I'm reading Whoopi's comment. Hilarious.
Wooby, I have to be careful when Wooby's in chat because I'll be trying to pay attention to whoever's talking, and then I'll read what he says, and I'll just be like,
Oh, God.
okay, all right. What do I do so I don't laugh? And of course, it's like at the most inappropriate times, he's gonna just say stuff. He's gonna say
You're
things at
right.
the inappropriate
Oh,
time.
my
Someone's talking about their dead parent or something. And he's gonna say something, and I'm gonna be laughing.
Oh my God.
All right.
Hey, Ruby said cheap as chips as well.
Yeah, cheap as chips. There you go. Cheap as chips, indeed.
I cannot.
Reina
Oh my
Mystique
God.
says $125. Looks like a Roman toilet. Okay. Your favorite today says $420. Wooby one says 215 fish. Saucy Chicken Nugget says $34,000. Wow. Okay. $12 from Mary. Thank you, Reina Mystique. Bwahaha from your favorite today. Mighty says $5,000. Okay. Looks like we all got our bids in. Let's go and check. Wooby needs a Netflix special. Yeah, it's just Wooby with a chat box. That's the whole thing. It's just Wooby and a chat box and a crowd, and it's just him typing stuff and people laughing out loud.
Listen, Wooby, I'm getting ready to come follow you.
There you
Hold on,
go.
I gotta see how to follow Wooby.
Yeah, Wooby's actually, let's get a shout out for Wooby rated as he is a DJ. Oh, I'm trying to.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a DJ Colin. Let me give him a shout out here, and then you could just.
I gotta see how do I follow Wooby? Hold on.
So I'm gonna drop a link. It's gonna drop a link in the chat, and you can just click on that link or either of those links, and it'll take you right to it, and you can follow him up, and you can bear witness to the Wooby dance yourself.
Of course, yeah, I like to see that so I can do it.
All right.
Make sure I can.
Let's get a drum roll while Mary follows Wooby here.
Yeah. I'm done. I followed Wooby. We in.
There we go.
Wooby won.
Wooby won. He's here for you and your musical needs. All right. Let's drum roll, please. The actual retail price on Craigslist. I gotta get my $2,100 out of
that is junk. That's what that is.
But look at the description now. He purchased it for $5,500 in 2015, and now he wants $3,200 OBO, which is completely different from more than $1,000 less from the asking price from the original post.
No.
So this person obviously is a psychopath. We're gonna go ahead and give him a round of applause, folks.
He need to stop playing because that was a contract. Because anybody wants that. I know I don't.
That was no good. We'll give him that one more time.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
No more of that.
I'm like, you didn't put the picture up? You gotta be kidding me,
he was so brazen. He was even gonna put the crappy picture up and everything.
Right? You know, he probably said it's gonna take him about 5,000 to fix the thing up. So I'm gonna just
right. Oh, he's just trying to recoup.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's bring our guest back so we can say our proper goodbyes and find our raid, whoever we are going to raid. Let me see here. Oh, that's not.
It's an absolute pleasure. I had a great time.
Oh, wonderful! I'm very happy that you had a good time. I'm glad that you're the second guest to be able to experience the sound effects and everything.
Simply a mic. We speak English good experience. Come on now.
Hey,
great job.
What's up? Mary Cross, how can people get a hold of you? What do you got coming next besides the video drops the 15th, Friday the 15th? Oh, thank you for those claps, Mighty. Thank you so much.
Well, you guys can follow me on my website is marycross.org. My Instagram is the letter N as in Nancy, SPIRE, to inspire you. You on the end, one letter U. And Twitter is Mary Cross Sings. And I'm if you Google me or you go under YouTube, you'll see all my videos, the ones that I do have uploaded. So when you do the search engine thing, I think I'm the first name that comes up under Mary Cross. Done some great work there. But yeah, so you guys can find me anywhere in regard to the songs that I have released. And it's been exciting. As far as the things I have coming up, I do have some virtual performances. I'm planning one is going to be Valentine's weekend.
Hmm.
Not sure if we're going to do it Sunday or Saturday. And then I've also been asked to host some kind of a radio television show. I was trying to do it. They wanted me to do it on New Year's Eve, but we didn't have enough time. So I have to get with the programming director and do that. And I'll have to post that. And then, as I said, I have some other shows that are coming up, and they're going to be virtual because at this point, I don't believe we can do anything between now and May.
I see.
Nobody's going to be outside of there. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, they just notified me. Did we find a winner? I don't even think we established a winner.
Oh,
Did we?
oh man. Yeah, that price messed us up. We was like, what? You charging what? Get out of here.
I know we got so thrown off. Who won that? Who won that? Was that you, Mighty Mighty? Is that why you're saying give it to Saucy? Mighty Mighty, what did you put 5,000? Yeah, I think you did win it. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, Mighty Mighty, give it to Saucy.
What does
Okay.
he know that we don't know? Because that table sucks.
That is a terrible thing. We're all winners. That's right. You're a very special snowflake.
Exactly.
Will be one. And okay. Well, how do you like in virtual performances? By the way, I forgot to ask.
I like them. I think they're different because it's not interaction with people. And I don't, while I'm performing, my assistant would probably be, responding to them on the computer or something. But that doesn't help me as far as feedback from my audience. So I don't mind them. And I've done a few of them, as I said, and they were okay. I have fun regardless because I'm with my bandmates. But it's just not the same feedback. But I
Yeah.
love it. I do it because I love it, and it
Yeah.
works out, but it's not the same.
It's not the same, but for instance, Twitch, um, they have so many talented musical performers on here, and
Mhm.
it's just I've made so many friends on here, and
It's awesome.
I mean, and I've performed on here with my wife too, and I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it's about the closest thing you're gonna get, like especially
Yeah,
the way
it's a lot.
Twitch does it. I can't
Mhm.
speak for like Facebook Live and all that.
Right.
That's kind of not the vibe
Mhm.
here on Twitch. The vibe here
Mhm.
on Twitch is
Right.
like very supportive, very
Mhm.
positive.
Nice.
You have a lot of people who talk with words like vibes and stuff. So like, so it's a very I found a very beautiful home here and very wonderful
That's
community here. So
wonderful.
so if you're ever looking into performing online and really,
Mhm.
really maximizing your reach with it, is like Twitch
Yeah.
is probably the way to go. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I think the world's on the verge of opening back up, so who knows what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Let us hope. Let us hope. I do have a question for you.
Sure,
When I was
please.
listening to Dave K yesterday, I didn't notice any feedback. And that's one of the things we notice when you do StreamYard or YouTube or Facebook with the musicians playing behind. You can sometimes have this feedback or delay. I
Mm.
didn't hear that when Dave was playing yesterday. So is that something that Twitch has mastered or
Oh
no?
no. Well, what I was doing was playing videos that Dave had previously recorded. So
Oh,
so
okay. I thought one of them was a live kind of
oh
thing he
yeah,
was
no,
doing.
that's his stream. That was his actual live stream. And
Okay.
and so what's happening with you, I'm not sure because I don't know what your setup is, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have like when we were getting set up today,
Yeah.
sometimes two
Mm-hmm.
mics are on, sometimes a mic on the camera's on, and
Mm-hmm.
so it can
Mm-hmm.
pick up like, the drums and the
Yeah.
drum mic too. So like you getting
Mm-hmm.
double sounds.
Yeah.
A lot of time when I first started, I had double voices. Everything
Oh,
had
wow.
doubles. It drove me nuts. And it turned out
Oh,
all I had to
wow.
do was just mute some tracks on the
Oh,
program I
good.
use.
Nice, simple. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a simple fix, but for like 5 or 6 episodes, people are like here. I started streaming the show in June, and I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's definitely changed, but it was not. It was
Wow.
insane, but it's a learning process. It's streaming music and streaming
Mm-hmm.
anything on a level, on a professional level. And not to say
Yeah.
that this is professional or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
but to stream it takes a lot. It takes some
Yeah.
technology. It takes some understanding of that
Right.
technology. So it was a
Mhm.
long journey, even though it's only been like
Yeah.
a few months. It feels like it's
Uh-huh.
been years
That's great.
because dealing with the stress of technology takes years off your
Mhm.
life. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's so it feels like it was more than it should, but
Exactly. I can understand that for sure. Yeah, especially being one who's just learning or getting introduced to it in
Mhm.
such a way that I have a better understanding of it as we go along.
Right.
The other thing I meant to tell you is that I am going to be releasing my Love Project album this year. I
Wonderful.
don't know exactly which month it's going to be, but I'm trying to stay consistent in finishing the songs that I'm working on so that I can actually have the project done before the end of the year. That's the plan. But again, it's called the Love Project because
Okay.
everything I do, I wanted to inspire people and be about, just being something encouraging. People have enough bad news and negative stuff going on in the world.
Yeah.
So,
That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that you're devoted to like making people feel comfortable at your show, making people feel wanted. Like it's just
yes,
it's a very good vibe to have and to
it is.
project out in a world that needs that vibe right now. So
Exactly. Oh
Mary
my
Cross,
God.
thank you so much for coming on the show. It was an
Thank
absolute
you for
joy to
having
chat.
me.
And
Thank
um
you.
and and as the Love Project you start getting ready to set the release and stuff, please keep me in mind,
Mhm.
and because I'd
I
love to have you
will,
back on to
certainly.
help promote and do what I
Love it.
can, and I'd love to play a song on the show too. So
Oh,
just keep me
wonderful.
in mind when you're about to release that, and we'll
I
make it happen.
will. I
Yeah.
will.
Thanks,
It's been
Wooby.
a pleasure. Seriously. I appreciate you and Raina. And don't forget, we got something coming in for you, buddy. Hmm. Your big cousin. Yeah, Raina, I'll be talking to you, girl. You know the deal. Hmm.
All right, guys.
No, but it was a pleasure. I enjoyed speaking with you. I enjoyed
Oh,
chatting with the audience members, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to having my folks who wanted to join, who probably are not aware that they had to join, that
yes.
they'll probably watch the show thereafter. So
Which I can
definitely.
send you. This is immediately available, so and it's very
Okay, great.
easily shareable. The link is very. I can send
Awesome.
you a link as soon as we're done here. So,
That's great. That's great.
Mary Cross, thank you so much.
Thank
You guys, we are going
you.
to raid Orca Stereo. Everyone, give him some love. Tell him that we love him.
Love
I'm gonna
it.
wrap up with Mary here, so tell him I'll be over in a second. Just let me say goodbye to my guest. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Kint Suku, a UK music streamer, and Orca Stereo is actually coming back on the show next Friday. So the guy
Nice.
we're going to raid is going to be on the show next Friday. And of course, Cypher Deluxe is going to be up. So if you guys have that Hot 16, you just got to spit, save it for next Friday. We're going to be doing it big. All right, guys. Love you. Be
Love
good
it.
to your fellow human beings. All right, guys. Bye.
Hey,
Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
thank
Um,
you.